Adam Carolla is back on the road. May 2nd and 3rd in Port Charlotte, Florida at Visani's Italian Steakhouse and Comedy Theater. Sunday, May 4th in Melbourne, Florida at the Melbourne Auditorium with Terrence K. Williams. And then the Ace Man jumps over to the Pacific Northwest May 30th and 31st at the Tacoma Comedy Club in Washington. Get tickets for these and other shows at adamcarolla.com. No intro joke today. Lynch was too devastated about Fish getting screwed in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominations. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. The church and the mandate you get it on now. Mayhem's in studio. Erik Griffin swinging by. Always good to speak to him and chop it up. I brought this canister of Kiss My Face in here, and the reason I brought it in here, it says "Kiss My Face." It's an aerosol can, not a large one, sort of medium, smallish one. So okay, I'm gonna shoot last weekend my vlog, and this time I'm covering the Palisades, and I'm speaking to a woman, Elaine, who builds everything, knows everyone, and is going to take us on a personal tour of her home that survived and the devastation and all that goes with it. And the last time I went out there, I'm not a sunscreen guy, but the last time I went out there, I realized I stood so long outside. I always wear a baseball hat or something, but when you're filming and you got this kind of hair, you tend not to. So I didn't. Anyway, I talked to Army Corps Engineers Colonel. I got back. I realized I've been standing out in the sun for about 4 or 5 hours, and I probably should have put a little sunscreen on.
Baked Carolla.
Right. So this time, I thought to myself, well, I'm going to put on. I shall apply some sunscreen before I go back. And I'll show you some of what we got in a minute. I need the master list. Dawson was going to remind you to do that. Okay.
Well oiled, baby. We're good.
I know. It's the human mind is interesting. Every time I open the freezer and there's a can of soda that's almost exploding because someone put it in 4 days earlier to get it cool real fast, and then 9 minutes later completely whiffed on it, I just think you're not that good. You're not that good. And what I say to people all the time is, I'm not that good either. Dr. Drew puts his keys in the refrigerator so he doesn't forget medication that's supposed to be refrigerated when he puts it in here for 3 hours and then he leaves. Because the difference between you guys and Dr. Drew is you're both bad, but Dr. Drew knows he's bad.
He's got symptoms. He's got protocols.
That's the difference. It's drunk driving. It's like everybody gets drunk. You just got to know you're drunk before you start talking shit.
Dr. Drew got a checklist.
Right. So, okay. Now, I go to this place, and I know now this woman is going to rent a convertible, and then we are going to sit and tour the devastation in the back of the convertible while the cameraman, Andrew's in the front seat, filming us while her boyfriend drives us. Better to shoot in a convertible than an SUV.
The Adam Carolla vlog.
That's right. So I decide when I'm here in the morning, I should spray on some sunscreen because I'm going to be back of this convertible in the Palisades for 5 hours. So I reach into the medicine cabinet knowing that there's sunscreen somewhere.
Yeah.
And the spray-on variety. And I pull out some Kiss My Face Sport.
Hit me, coach.
Kiss My Face Sport, dries in seconds, quick dry spray, it says. So I grab it, I shake it up, and I douse my face, ears, back of the neck, front chest, everything. Just nail the shit in the ears, around the ears, back of the neck, everything else. And then at some point, I think, what's the SPF on this Kiss My Face sunscreen I'd slathered all over my head? And then I read it, and it says deodorant.
Ace.
Small print at the bottom.
Ace.
And I thought, I just inhaled
Ace,
a quart of
when
deodorant.
I
I
first
sprayed it all over my
started working
fucking face.
here, I did the exact same thing
did?
with that exact same thing.
Well, there's fucking should be a lawsuit now.
Hey, I'm really sorry about not reminding Andrew about the master list.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling a little bit smarter right now.
Not since I brushed my teeth with Vagisil back in.
Yo, man, I'm going to ruin the episode laughing, man.
I literally, it's been 41 years since I brushed my teeth with Vagisil. That my sister's.
Oh, I didn't know you were. Oh, I'm sorry, man. It must have been very traumatizing for you.
I sprayed the shit all over my fucking head, and then, like I said, it also. I want to say this about stuff. Humans have colors.
I know.
You know, we have a palette. You know what I mean? Like when you see orange and brown, you think like Mexican food, hot sauce, you know, stuff like that. You don't, there is no hot sauce with like a bright blue label, like in a white. It's not hot sauce color, right? Sunscreen color is this. It's blue, it's white, it's sun, it's beach, it's surf.
That's one baby getting pants by a dog away
That's
from.
right.
You know,
Right.
I mean, that's standard.
Sprayed it all over my fucking head. All over. Like I was I'm going to be in the back of that car. I'm going to hit myself real good. Made sure and got the ears real good, too. Like I got, the ears. They don't get the ears. You got to get the ears. Sprayed this shit all up my ears.
You inadvertently used deodorant for the first time in decades.
I know. And I know. And I wouldn't have known it except for my body rejected it. So I was like,
Refreshing.
God damn it. And since
This
I
is
read
a
it
new
was
ad
deodorant.
read? This is a shitty ad read, Ace.
So then I went and I figured out what it was. So then I had to wash my head in the sink, which is nice. And then I went and searched around the back and found some shit. I sprayed this shit all over me. So
In the piss sink?
the piss sink.
Just
yeah.
clarifying.
Oh, every sink's a piss sink. When you're over 6'2", every sink's a piss sink.
Touche.
I want to show you this footage. It's Adam Carolla vlog. We haven't dropped this one yet, but it goes over the hill in the Palisades, and every single thing to the ocean is completely destroyed. But Elaine, who was giving me the tour of the whole place, she goes, "You see that whole enclave of buildings, all those white buildings down there that are completely unmolested?" And I was like, "Yeah, everything is burnt, but those, what happened?" She goes, "That's Rick Caruso's place.
Oh, yeah.
He has his own fire department because he knew LA was incompetent. And he didn't like the way the forestry was being managed and so on and so forth. So he just went ahead and got himself his own private fire department. And so his shit was saved. So to all you assholes out there going, there's nothing they could have done because of the wind. Rick Caruso figured it out. The guy should have been mayor, figured it out because he knew these guys were incompetent.
He should run for governor.
He should run for Grand Poobah. Point is yes, competent people can see things coming before they happen, and they can mitigate, and they can stop the risk of it, or they can stop it, which is what he did because he's competent. He's not a fucking idiot who just wants to fucking talk and rub their hands together. So
I don't know, man. There's something to be said about making a plan about a plan and then make another plan. Just saying.
that's what all these people want to do. So then, while I was taping up top, we went to the very top of Temescal Canyon. Mm-hmm. Temescal Canyon, where they're selling some of the lots. It's a couple of miniature lots.
That are burned down, you mean?
Burned down, miniature lots. Miniature lot.
What's the price on that, Ace?
$2.5 million for a small lot. I'm not talking about quarter acre. I'm talking about small lot.
Flat ground with carcinogens all over
Flat
it.
carcinogen.
You got to get rid of them?
With all, up on the hill though, like a little view. Temescal was funny. We passed a lot. The chick said, "That thing's going to be $4 million." And I said, I don't think it's $4 million. She goes, "Yeah, $4 million." I go, "It can't be that much because by the time you build the house, you're underwater in it. You know what I mean? Because house is $1,000 a square foot plus to build. And you build 5,000 square feet. This has got to be cheaper than that. She goes, go on Redfin and Google that shit, look it up. And I said, all right, I will. Where are we? She goes, Temescal Canyon. I'm like, all right, that's going to take a while. I got about 7 different ways to spell Temescal in my head, and none of them are right. None of them are right.
I get it.
20 minutes later, it was 2.5 and change.
Man, this footage needs a Jurassic Park music.
Oh, man, if you go back to the beginning of this, he flew his drone right through, Andrew did, a big steel structure that was still standing and went through it out over the Palisades, which is completely destroyed. But, so, anyway, then I was standing up there, and a guy stopped me, got out, and he introduced himself. And he's a guy whose company builds houses that cannot be burned to the ground.
All right.
And I said, how does this work? And he said, well, we just build houses that can't be burnt. We do walls that cannot be burnt. The windows are the windows. I mean, you go with a steel window, aluminum window, whatever. It's glass and aluminum, whatever. The windows are the windows. But the wall units cannot be burnt.
Yeah, I can imagine, like, they could put shutters that you just can't even, the windows wouldn't even be touched, and the entire structure would just
Well, there's
bake.
there will be no, the house will be built out of material that's non-combustible on the exterior.
Well, I'm just saying the weak point is the windows. Usually that's where the glass will melt, and then, the curtain catches fire, then the entire inside of the structure goes up.
So I think here's the conceit.
Mm-hmm.
The conceit is if the fire gets inside of the dwelling, then it's carpets, drapes, sofas, everything, Raggedy Ann dolls, everything's going to go up. This will keep it outside. Now, if, it's a 9/11 type situation right by a bay window, they're not going to stop. But the fire will. He said these homes are fireproof and they will not burn down. And there's no combustibles in the building exterior wise. If you want interior walls that are wooden, you may.
How is it that California, with all its rules and regulations, have not come on to this quite yet?
That's what I said. So I said, well, what is this wall? How does this work? Now, luckily, I know everything, so I can picture what he's saying. It's foam. Just picture about 5-6 inches of foam, like polystyrene, expanding, whatever, the kind of stuff they use for insulation.
Foam,
right.
yeah.
So you got the foam, which is good insulation right there. Good R values, they say. Within the foam and outside of the foam is a 6-gauge metal sort of cage. Think thin rebar. Think rebar the size of if you took a coat hanger and you made it about 3 or 4 times as thick. Like thick wire, inside and outside. And then what they do is they assemble all these units, this system, and then they spray it with, so what you should think of is if you ever see them make a swimming pool, they spray it with gunite or lightweight concrete. There's a concrete you can spray.
It catches on the wall.
And then trowel it down.
Yeah.
So when they do a swimming pool, they dig a hole, they make a cage, the shape of the swimming pool, and then they spray it and they trowel it off. So that's the interior and the exterior of these walls. 1.5 inches of concrete with the foam and the cage in the inside and on the outside too, and then 1.5 inches in the inside. Cannot be burned.
I imagine that some of these new houses will be built with the 3D printing technology, a giant rig that will spray around.
That's also pretty fireproof or fireproof.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. The stuff it's kind of interesting stuff, but everyth's on a radius with that stuff.
Yeah, of course. So now you don't get a clean corner. But I imagine there'll be an update at some point.
There will. So they can do these. And so I said to him, he said, oh, there's a fire over here in Laverne or something, and there are 150 houses burned to the ground. Ours was the only one left. So it was literally fireproof. I said, well, I imagine California, Los Angeles, all the regulations we have. You want to know how many regulations we have? The woman, Elaine, gave me a tour of one of her homes that survived. She has multiple homes.
All right.
and is blonde. That's attractive. She has multiple homes. She said, in this canyon, 17 houses burned out of 19. Mine was one of two left. She gave me a tour of her home. I'll put it to you this way. It rents out for about $100K a month.
A palatial estate, you say?
Yeah. Walked into the master bedroom, looked up, fire sprinkler right next to the shower head in the center of a completely glass, floor-to-ceiling enclosed master shower, like deluxe master shower, like literally going into a room, floor-to-ceiling glass for the shower. Shower head coming down 4 inches off in the ceiling was a fire sprinkler.
That's if I catch her in the shower and she self-emoliates.
Yeah, I said, you got to have a shower. You got to have a fire sprinkler in the shower. Yeah. I go, there's nothing in here but tile and glass and a shower head. She goes, yeah. Went to the next bathroom, shower head in the...
What?
Right next to the shower head, fire sprinkler. Okay, why? Okay, here's how California works, and here's how Los Angeles works. Here's the code. You go, we need a fire sprinkler. Every 50 square feet, there's got to be a fire sprinkler. And then you go, this is in a enclosed glass, tiled shower next to a shower head. And they go, yeah. Didn't you hear me the first time? I said every 50 square feet we need a shower. That's the code. That's it. It actually looked kind of shitty because it was a beautiful shower. I mean, the kind of thing, you walked in, it was as big as the room I grew up in North Hollywood, and there's a fucking weird shower. There was a weird fire sprinkler thing right next to the shower head that was coming down. Anyway, and it probably cost an extra $7,000 to get the two. The point is we got rules, okay? So I said to the guy who's selling the homes that cannot be burnt down, I said, well, it looks like you're in business because they're going to insist. Because they insist on the fire sprinklers. You cannot build no one's going to be able to rebuild without a sprinkler system inside the house, which will, by the way, destroy
everything in there
inside the house.
What the hell?
I said, well, for sure, you guys aren't going to be able to make these walls fast enough because they're going to mandate that it all be out of this kind of material and a home that can't burn down. He said, oh no, they're not.
Yeah, no.
I said, why? Why not? And he goes, big lumber.
Yeah.
Big wood.
Yeah, you got to think about that.
Big wood lobby. Mm-hmm. I go, big wood. That's my high school nickname, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. He said, oh yeah, Weyerhaeuser and all those fucking guys who just make dimensional lumber and plywood and all that combustible shit. They got got friends in Congress and friends in the legislature, and they're paying people off, and they got lobbyists. This is why, by the way, we shouldn't have lobbyists, right? So they're just going to rebuild out of wood again with a bunch of other codes, but they're not going to mandate that they do this.
And get super rich every 3 to 4 years. I know. This is America.
It's also a weird thing. I'm telling everyone. He said it's the only industry that hasn't advanced. Think about it. He has a picture on his brochure. He's like, this is how a house was built in 1875, and here's how a house is built today. Fucking the same. It's exactly the same. Get a bunch of 2x4s, start putting them together.
We shall go to the Home Depot.
I've complained about it my whole goddamn life. But anyway, it's interesting. It's smart. And you want to guess who got woken up by the backup beeper this morning, right? All right, that's what woke me up. You got 1.5 inches of cement on one side, of 5 inches of solid foam, and then 1.5 inches on the inside. No more fucking backup beepers for you.
Yep.
Sound deadening, fireproof, high R value. I know.
Oh, you're doing a bit at Chino.
Oh, yeah?
Concrete. Yeah.
Oh, you know what's funny?
Bit. Triggered.
You triggered? You know what's funny? I said to him, I go, and when it's all done, what do we finish it off with? Elastomeric, which is exterior sort of rubberized paint, mixed like a film. You know?
Yeah.
It's good stuff. He goes, I go, you do elastomeric, like you paint it when you're done, after you're done doing the concrete. He goes, we'll put a color coat on it, like a stucco color coat. But he goes, in prisons, we'll do a Last American. And I was like, oh, you guys do prisons?
Obviously, yeah. It's a weird thing with concrete. It's cold and it's effective at
you
fire
could get
prevention.
out. Mayhem, I feel like you and a spoon in about 9 months, and you could fucking get out.
Yeah.
You could get out of
100%. Get right through the elastomere on the first day.
Last American, but yeah. All right. I don't know. Let's see. Erik Griffin's here. I want to get into him.
All right.
I should bring him in. I'm trying to think of stuff to talk to him about. I will say this. I don't know. Tell me if you guys know this to be true. My son, who's been to Japan twice and not for work like you, and is now fixing to leave to South Korea today. He's going to Korea.
He's joining a boy group?
Yeah, he's in one of those K-pop bands or whatever.
BTK?
Whatever.
Elemental P?
Okay. I said to him, what are you doing what's in Korea? He goes, I got some friends there. They travel a lot. They got an apartment. They said to hang out for 2 weeks or whatever. I'm like, what goes on with all this wanderlust and excitement in life that you're living over here? But when I was your age, I was digging fucking ditches with a sawed-off shovel in a hole. What is this? But I started to kind of realize, now tell me if this is true or not. I've talked about it before. I want to know if this is correct or not. I like stuff. I like cars. I like tools. I like wrenching. I like when the guy pulls up who does the house that doesn't burn through. Me and that guy geeked out for about 30 minutes about how how they place the walls on the footing, and they dowel it in with number 4 rebar, and they do an epoxy dowel and blah blah. I geek out. I love tools.
Yeah.
I love parts. I never really wanted to go anywhere. I wanted my stuff. I got into show business and made money so I could get stuff and cars and wrench and tools. But I didn't want to travel. But I started realizing when I shared an office with Daniel Kellison and Jimmy Kimmel when I was doing the Man Show and Crankcake and stuff, all those guys wanted to do was have an experience.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I would say to Jimmy bought a used Mercedes 320 something, like, I don't know, low V6, not a big G-Wagon or anything. He bought kind of a used lower, kind of Mercedes.
Basic luxury car.
The car you might get your daughter first year in college or something, right? And I said to him one day, we're sitting in the Crank Yankers office, and I said, I mean, you're making good money now, Jimmy. And I said, think you want to upgrade in the car department? He's like, why? I was like, something cool to drive around. Why? This one's fine. I said, yeah, I know it's fine, but now you're rich, so don't you want to get something kind of interesting or cool or something? He goes, why would I? And I was like, oh, he doesn't like that stuff, but his idea of having money is going to the Amalfi Coast with a bunch of friends for a couple of weeks.
I don't even know where that is, but yeah, that sounds like my idea of a good time too, bud.
Well, I did go to the Amalfi Coast with Jimmy, but
okay.
But I realized my son does not own a car, does not want a car, doesn't want one. When I go, you sure you don't want to get a used car or something? No, I'm good. I like to walk. I got an electric bike.
He's a different strain of Carolla.
Yeah. My point is he doesn't like stuff. He likes experiences. And then I realized I like stuff, but experience is kind of second. I like the stuff first.
For you, the stuff is the experience because you're in love with those cars. You get after it with the building. You know what I mean? You're a very tactile dude who what's right in front of you, you're getting after it.
I would imagine that makes him better. Now, the thing is those kinds of people are more social, the experienced people. But his favorite thing to do is walk alone at night. Like David Banner from the Hulk, like Bill Bixby, just walk alone every night.
Like Kane in Kung Fu, getting in adventures.
Oh, Kane, I loved Kane. Because Kane, he would wander into every town. He was wander into a town.
Pittsburgh.
Barefoot. All he had was a flute. By the way, when you're trapped in the desert, a flute's really not going to help a lot. Anything but a flute. That's just extra weight.
Snakes out of my way.
Well, maybe you're right. Right.
But yeah, David Carradine.
He'd come into every town, and all he wanted was some water,
peace,
and some peace. Ended up beating the shit out of everyone in the town, and then left. And it would always be funny. He'd just walk in, and he'd walk into the saloon like barefoot with his flute, and he'd go, "May I have some water, please?" And they'd go, "We don't serve your kind here, yellow man." And he'd go, "I want no trouble." And they'd go, "You found trouble, boy." And then he'd beat the shit out of everybody. And then he'd leave. You think at a certain point the towns would catch on?
What if after the credits that it's David Carradine waking up from a stupor? That's the way he saw it, but he was just hammered drunk. He was playing his flute, fucking everybody up in the bar.
Yeah, he woke up in an apartment, Van Nuys on a futon, smoking opium pipe next to him. He's like, "What the fuck?" It was also a crazy time that we had a white guy play an Asian guy. That'll never happen again.
Was it not controversial? I wasn't there. I watched reruns.
Right, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Towns got news back then. They had books and publications and newspapers, and word got around when Wild Bill Hickok was coming into town, or Annie Oakley was coming into town, or Will Rogers.
They usually came together, didn't they?
I'm saying they knew. I'm just saying at a certain point, someone would go, "Hey, if a white guy who kind of seems Asian, barefoot with a flute comes in, leave him be. Leave him be. He's going to give you a crescent kick in slow motion right on the fucking bridge of your nose. He's going to kick the shit out of you. So just leave that dude alone." Like you think word, like a gunslinger. You know what I mean? Like word, like the Dalton boys. People knew the Dalton boys. You know what I mean? Word got out.
He'll be your Huckleberry.
That's right. Word should have got out on Kane. That's all. So he wants to go. My son wants experiences, and I want stuff. But his idea of the best Sunday afternoon ever is just walking alone. And my idea of the best Sunday ever is just here in this shop, just organizing stuff, wrenching on stuff, and fixing stuff.
You're a tinkerer, as they call it.
Yeah. So we have that in common, but he is going to Korea.
Are you offended by the word tinkerer? I mean, I don't know, as a craftsman, do you consider yourself more than a tinkerer?
I would say
mechanic. Are we elevating you to that level?
Here's what I don't like. I feel that I don't like handyman.
Why? It's degrading, like you're some kind of porno slut?
Handyman. Here's what I would say. Handyman is the carpenter what chiropractor is the surgeon. It's like, come on, dude. I got a skill here.
Yeah.
I talked to that guy who does homes that cannot be burnt down for 20 minutes and knew everything he was talking about, because handyman is great. You could fix a toaster oven or paint something or whatever, but how would you know what the nailing schedule on shear wall was?
Yeah.
And what do you know the difference between a 10-penny ring shank nail and an 8-penny
I'm not a sensei.
sinker?
I'm not a sensei.
Right.
I'm a pro MMA coach.
Right. Yeah.
You don't degrade me to say I'm not in a strip mall, doing
Aishidoshi.
Yes, exactly.
Ugh.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep. All right. I could never. A couple things with that movie. One is the first guy kicks the guy in the face, just kicks him right in the orbital socket. It's like, point. Then the next guy kicks him in the meaty part of the thigh. It's like, that's disqualification. I'm like, okay, what are the rules here? Kick into the orbital socket's fine. Kick into the meaty part of the thigh is a disqualification. I don't understand that. And the other part I never understood is at the end, Kreese is out in the parking lot. It's like, we got to win that All-Valley trophy or I can't recruit people to my dojo. And then he's choking a kid in the parking lot. And while the parents are walking out of the auditorium, I'm like, well, this is bad advertising for your dojo. You choking students in the parking lot is really bad advertising for your dojo.
No, I mean, to be fair, it's an effective technique. And he showcased it.
I just feel like if I was the mother of a 9-year-old, I'd be like, I don't know if I want to send him to the dojo where the sensei chokes students who lose.
Yeah, those rules
are
the reason that karate is not popular anymore. I'm telling you. That's why. Those rules, those specific rules.
Full contact or light contact or whatever the stupid contact, what do they call that? Point fighting?
Like Shotokan, full contact karate is amazing. Like body punches and kicks to the face. But this version of freeze tag, trash.
Don't like it. Yeah. All right, comedian Erik Griffin is out there. I think we should take a break. We'll bring him in right after this. 1-800-Flowers. Mother's Day is coming up quick, and there's no better way to celebrate Mom than getting her fresh flowers, a fresh bouquet of roses from 1-800-Flowers. Flowers, beautiful, fresh, nice way to celebrate Mom. Let her know you love her through flowers. And this year, I'm teaming up with 1-800-Flowers.com to make sure Mother's Day is even sweeter right now. When you order 1 dozen roses, they'll double it to 2 dozen absolutely free. The roses from 1-800-Flowers are picked at their peak, cared for every step of the way, and shipped fresh to ensure high-quality, long-lasting beauty. Bouquets are selling fast, so lock it in today. Don't procrastinate. Lock it in today at 1-800-Flowers. Right, Dawson?
To claim your Double Your Roses offer, go to 1-800-Flowers.com/Adam. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/Adam.
American Giant. Did you know that 60% of clothes that we buy end up in a landfill within 1 year of being made? Oh, that is ugly, man. Historically, our clothes were something we held on to for a long time. But big apparel companies constantly find ways to make clothes faster and cheaper, turning clothes disposable. American Giant is about durable, non-disposable products. They make clothes built to last. So, buying from American Giant is an investment, not just in the clothes, but a community trying to do things the right way. Yeah, remember when you'd have clothes and they would last you until you grew out of them or wore them out or something back in the day? Let's get back to that day, huh? And not fill up the landfills with junk. Through American ingenuity and innovation, they went against the current to do better. They believe in a new kind of conscious buying because small changes can add up to something big. It's American Giant. Right, Dawson?
This season, snag the hoodie that will bring you comfort for life, the American Giant Classic Full Zip. And save 20% on your first order at American-Giant.com. When you use code Adam at checkout, that's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com, code Adam.
Men and women, we don't even like sex the same. I think women enjoy sex far more than we do. Half the enjoyment from men is getting the yes. We love that. Hey, you want to fuck me? No? Okay. You want to fuck me? Hey, you want to have sex? No? You want to have sex? Fuck you, bitch. You want to have sex? You want to have sex? Yes?
Erik Griffin is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Eric's got very funny.
What a choice.
I felt
what a choice of a pick.
I feel violated, Dawson.
That was out of context. There was a lot more to that bit.
That was from his Drybar set, and I got one out there on YouTube as well. Riven with Griffin and the Golden Hour is the name of the podcast, and then live dates. La Jolla's coming up, Indianapolis coming up, Lexington, Kentucky coming up. And Eric's a very funny stand-up comedian. I've seen him many times.
Thank you, my friend.
I got a lot to talk to you about.
Let's do it.
That I feel like I saved some of this stuff so that you could jump in on some of this. I love a commercial where a kid recognizes an old person that they would never recognize.
Oh.
And those are my favorite. And I remember as a young kid, Phil Rizzuto, who was a Yankees legend who retired in 1953.
Oh, wow.
He was just spokesperson for the money store. And so they do a commercial, and it's 1983. It's like 30 years after he retired, and then the 7-year-old kid has to go, it's Phil Rizzuto. And I'm like, okay, that's not.
There's no way.
I found, all right, but there's a new one. This one's back. I'll play the Phil Rizzuto. This one I remember from my youth.
Attention homeowners, if you need money for any reason.
All right, hold on. There's an elderly man. There's an elderly man wearing Swifty Lazar glasses in a suit, not in a Yankees baseball outfit, just in a suit. It pops up on the TV, and a 7-year-old within 2 seconds yells out, Phil Rizzuto.
Well, this whole setup is crazy.
Right.
Like, who watches TV like that? You know what I mean?
It was the 70s, a simpler time. Dad's reading the paper facing away from the TV.
Yeah,
Psycho.
right.
It's right there. It's Phil Rizzuto.
And who puts their TV like that?
I like that his old lady's giving him a little neck rub.
Right,
He's
right,
looking
right,
at the
right.
sports page. It's all contrived. But we used to do commercials. Commercials are like, hey, it's a commercial. No one looks like this. No one lives like this, but it's a commercial. Like, we understood, like, TV was TV. This is the Brady Bunch. You know, this is the Brady Bunch.
12, that was a reality show, right?
That is as real as it got. All right. So that commercial always stuck in my head because even when I was young, I was like, no way that kid knows who fucking Phil Rizzuto is.
Right.
And it bothered me. And then I was watching TV last weekend, and a commercial came on for a private jet. It's one of those jet. Let me tell you something about the private jet. It's fucking expensive, and it doesn't matter what they say or how you do it. And when they do stuff, like when they go, and there'll always be a car there waiting for you when you land. You're like, cha-ching, cha-ching. It's not like the guy volunteered to come out and grab you. It's fucking another $700, right? Private jet here. Private jet math is always like, it's always this one, like where someone goes, hey man, instead of going Southwest for the bachelor party, we're going to Vegas. Why don't we get a private jet? We could party on the private jet. And then someone goes, how many guys do we got? We got 8 dudes. Yeah. Okay. What's a private jet cost? $17,000. Oh, okay. Oh, fuck that. That's how all private jet math works. Like, you think there's a way you're going to whack it up? Like, you go, well, what if we rented Hearst Castle, but there's like 7 roommates? Like, wouldn't that? And you go, no. It never works. But for a second, it sounds. All right. This guy, there's an 8 or 9-year-old boy with his dad standing on a tarmac, and the child is disappointed because they missed their jet. Now, I don't know how you get out to the tarmac. Because I've had a few flights canceled on me.
Yeah.
But I've
never out there.
I've never had to go, let me just go out and kick some wheels.
Now, they make it seem like it was like this. They were like,
oh man, like it just left, like it was a train.
These guys look vaguely Middle Eastern.
Profiling.
Yeah, I mean, I just did.
Yeah, so again, I've missed flights, but I'm usually in the terminal looking out the
unless
window.
You're flying out of Santa Barbara or something.
So the guys are out. So it's a dad, and he's got the son, and they're not going to be able to get to the big game. Remember when you guys used to fly private to the big game with your dad back in the day? Oh, man. I miss those
never
days.
met him, so thanks for bringing that up.
That's the black half.
Yeah.
All right, so guess what happens? Don't worry. Here we go.
Dad, are we really going to miss the game?
It's not looking good. I think we're stuck here. I'm sorry, son.
Hey, you guys doing okay?
Dad, it's John Elway.
John Elway retired in 97. John Elway's not been in the league in 28 years.
Let me tell you something. I didn't even know that was John Elway.
I didn't. It's a great...
Like when I saw it, I was like, oh, the only reason why I thought, am I supposed to know this guy is because of this setup.
Right.
But if you would have not done any of that and said, guess who this is, before the kid said it, it would have taken me a second.
John Elway is gray. He's old. He's wearing a sweater. And
I thought it was Joe Biden.
This 8-year-old boy, I bet it really looks like Joe Biden.
I was like, is that what Joe's doing now?
I'd love the kid to turn around and go, it's Sonny Jurgensen. It's Kenny Stabler.
Yes.
I mean, all right. The kid is 8.5, maybe he's 9. Elway hasn't been in the league in 28 years at this point.
Yeah.
This kid was born 20 years after this guy retired, and he's not wearing a Denver jersey or anything. He comes up behind. By the way, if Kimmel came up behind me on a tarmac when I wasn't ready for it, I would spin around and go, Jimmy. Yeah. It would take a second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if my stepdad John came up behind me on a tarmac, it would be so out of context.
Yeah, because I would still be on the tarmac being like, why are we on the tarmac? You know what I mean? Like look, we live in a day and age right now where like we want stuff to make sense. That's just where we are.
You can't
make any sense of this.
No, look, here's what okay. Run it back. I just want to see him come. You tell me how long it takes him to identify.
Oh, well, even in the original commercial, man, the kid said
now,
too
by the
fast.
way, they could have set the table. Yeah. They could have said, we're not going to be able to make it to Denver to Mile High for the Legends game. And then he'd go, but you know I love vintage football, Dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, but there's nothing. All right, let's watch.
Dad, are we really going to miss the game?
It's not looking good. I think we're stuck here. I'm sorry, son.
Hey, you guys doing okay?
Dad, it's John Elway.
Our plane's having mechanical problems.
Immediate.
Wait. And you know what? You guys are slipping past something here.
All right.
This guy just said, our jet is having mechanical problems. So this is like a rich person's commercial.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is like if rich people had their own channel, this would be a great, like Bill Gates it only plays for Bill Gates. It plays for Elon Musk. It doesn't play for anyone else. That's what this commercial is for.
Yeah, this is for rich guys. That's why I was watching it. I watch the Rich Guy Network. And so, okay, a couple things. A, why are they on the tarmac? And this is why I can't make commercials.
I can't get past that.
If the plane has mechanical issues, they don't call you over to the plane and then block you from getting in and tell you to walk back.
Up some of these fumes a little bit and see if it's better.
Yeah, at what point did they just find out? Like, I want to see the commercial before this.
Yeah.
I want to see the build-up where the captain comes over and goes, listen, I'm so sorry, but you guys,
So Elway is going to offer him a ride on his jet, although unclear if they're going to the same destination or not, because they could be going to Nana's funeral in Baton Rouge. We don't know.
But when you're rich, it's like I see you outside. I'm like, Adam, where you going?
So Elway's either the most magnanimous, generous guy in the world or a pedophile. I cannot tell yet. We're too early in this commercial, right?
Well, if the kid was by himself.
Yeah, but Dad will look the other way. He's a Hall of Famer. All right.
I don't even think Dad recognizes him.
You know what, Ace? You patched the plot holes and then you just destroyed this commercial. Thanks, man.
All right, let's watch it in its entirety.
Does he have a jet company? Is that what we're watching?
No, he's just.
I don't understand.
He flies
what the commercial's
private,
for.
and he's very magnanimous. Hey, how many lifetimes would you have to stand on a tarmac looking dejected before John Elway came up to you and offered you a private ride on his jet?
That's pretty crazy.
3,000 lifetimes?
Yeah. When would I be?
A multiverse of lifetimes it would take.
All right, let's just watch the commercial. So he offers him a ride.
Uh-huh.
Dad, are we really going to miss the game?
It's not looking good. I think we're stuck here. I'm sorry, son.
Hey, you guys doing okay?
Dad, it's John Elway.
Our plane's having mechanical problems, and I think we're going to miss the big game.
Well, I'm going to badge it to the game. You're welcome to join me.
Gonna badge it.
With one flight's badge it, you're guaranteed a recovery plan.
But how is that
By the way,
possible?
pause it here. Nobody's tougher on the environment than Elway because he was about to fly a 12-passenger private jet alone to probably a local game. It was probably local.
Yeah, they should have just had other people on.
They should have had other people on it.
Maybe 6 other people just to make, you know what I mean?
Rich Carlos.
Yeah.
Famous kicker from the Denver era.
6 8-year-olds going to Epstein Island.
What about, let's see, who should they had? Should have had Tommy, what's his name? Linebacker.
Yeah, Terrell Davis should have been
Terrell
on
Davis should have been on there. Yeah. All right. So now he's best friends with the dad. There's an empty jet, and he's just flying him out to the big game.
Yeah, he goes to the game by himself.
Mm-hmm.
What are they chatting about, too?
Well, we're going to find out.
We're going to find out. Play it.
With one flight's badge it, you're guaranteed a recovery plan.
But how is that possible? My company just told me all the planes were booked, and we'd have to wait till tomorrow.
Not with badge it. Life's like football. It takes teamwork and preparation to make a difference.
Check out the Badget app. Search over 5,000 planes from 500 of the best companies. Select your plane.
Wait,
Simply
stop for a second. If you go back, even on that app, it looked expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, he was like, you can see, I saw 12,000. I saw 21,000.
It ain't cheap. All you do is pull up the app on your phone, scroll through it, pick the plane you like, and wait for John Elway to come up behind you.
Yo, my Apple Pay would explode if I clicked that shit.
Yeah, look at those prices look expensive.
They do, yeah.
Right? What is it? What doesn't that say $11,000 right there?
For 4-star service? Bullshit.
Bernie and AOC just racked up $200,000 going to a couple of rallies. It's easy to rack up the bucks.
Oh, a 91 Lear, 20 grand.
Look at that.
All right.
Listen.
Wait. This is what I'm saying. This is the kind of product you don't have a commercial for.
Nah, 11 grand for the Uber pool. Let's all kick in.
You don't need a commercial. This should sell itself.
I guess, but you still need.
By the way,
have you ever been on JSX?
It's 20 or 11 grand an hour. Mm-hmm. Is how they roll. But anyway, yes, JSX, good.
Yeah, you been on that?
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Wait, what is this? Educate me.
Okay, it's like the Spirit Airlines of private flying.
Jet? Oh, so you can.
But it's not really private. You know what I mean? Like you just because you go.
Ride in the
it's
car,
right out of
go home?
Burbank. No. You could get there 15 minutes before your flight.
No.
Yeah.
You walk.
No, it's good.
You walk right in. But I don't understand why the planes have to be Greyhound bus inside.
There's only one. There's one.
What is that about?
I'll tell you the big problem. There's a big problem.
What is it? Because it's so frustrating.
It's such a short. They're so short, but there's only one problem. When you do Burbank, they have like a lounge area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's always somebody you see, but you don't know whether you should say something or not. You're like, that's Carlos Santana.
Yeah.
He seems cool. Nah, I don't want to say anything to him. There's always hey, that's John. He's the drummer from System of a Down.
Yeah.
Should we get in? Should I say hi or should we just like pretend?
It's actually the only way to fly.
It's weird. There's always it's not riddled with celebrities, but there's always somebody who's going to Vegas to play a gig or something like that, and you know him, but not really. But does he know you? Like
they go to Vegas, they go to Dallas.
I live in my world. I know who Carlos Santana is, but there's no fucking way he knows who I am. So I don't want to. He's not going to turn around and go, "It's John Elway, it's Phil Rizzuto, hey, it's Adam Carolla." But maybe maybe he loves me. Maybe he's a big fucking Man Show guy. Like I don't know. Yeah. Should I say hi to Carlos Santana?
You don't want to do that though.
I saw Eric Estrada.
That's what I'm saying.
At the JSX in Burbank.
JSX. There's always now. Look, you're not going to run into Taylor Swift there.
Right.
They're flying with Elway.
Also ran into Slash.
Yeah, there's celebs, but it's always on the edge of do I go up and say?
But here's my issue though. I don't like when people are in that JSX terminal acting like they're flying on a Bill Gates jet.
I would be. Okay. I'd be wearing like
no. Sometimes people have like a thing, and I'm just like
hoity-toity, look at me, the king of the world.
You can't act like that at the JSX.
Like, come here, John Elway.
You know what I mean?
Now, look, you have a little
tone it down.
You have you're
back with some couth.
You have a little bit more money than people who fly Southwest. Drop the fucking attitude.
Thank you.
I
knew you would understand.
Yes.
Yeah. You want people like, hey, tone it down. Yeah, we sit down. Hey, I booked this on an app. Okay, let's just.
So did John Elway.
Wow, that guy, an assistant, did that.
All right, I want to see what Elway. I think keep Elway going because I think he parts ways with these guys when they land, but I'm not sure.
Budget app. Search over 5,000 planes from 500 of the best companies. Select your plane. Simply pay and you're ready to badge it to your destination.
Wow, that's really cool.
This food is incredible.
It's all complimentary with Badget. Everybody's treated like an MVP with this program.
By the way, hold on.
Everything's
complimentary. The car's complimentary. The food's complimentary. If you cost
$21,000
an hour, everything's complimentary.
Listen, I've been on a couple of private jets in my life. Okay, with just different situations. Just recently, actually. There ain't no filet mignon on a. That's a special private jet.
You got to bring your own food.
Yeah, dude.
You got to fucking pack a lunch.
It's not going to be this meal that they had. You know how when you see how you see an ad for like even if it's Carl's Jr. The picture of the burger,
yeah.
and then you're like, oh wow, it never looks like that.
TV dinner upside down. Yeah,
absolutely never looks
Erik
like
Griffin
that.
has showed up to explain to us TV is fake. Everybody. Housewives do not look that
but
good.
I'm saying this is false advertisement right here. You know.
All right, they land, then
Okay,
they
let's see what
finally
happens.
land, and then there's a car waiting.
It is incredible.
It's all complimentary with Badget. Everybody's treated like an MVP with this program.
Do you always have a chauffeured vehicle waiting for you?
It's all complimentary on Badget. It's all part of the flight experience.
I'm really impressed with Badget.
It's the one and only way to travel.
Thanks, John. You saved the day.
Thanks, buddy.
Dad, can we badge it to all the games?
Okay.
First off,
Yeah, you
they
go
cut
first.
the part where Elway's like, you owe me $57,000. Or I'm taking your son.
Or how about this? Like, so he sees a man and a son just on a tarmac, and he goes, "What do you?" Oh,
He comes
walks
up
and goes,
behind them.
Yeah, because what's going on? Oh, you guys can't get to the game. You know what? I'm going to the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they land, a car pulls up for John Elway. He clearly is going to the same place they're going.
Yeah.
But he looks at them and he says, I hope that was great, and gets in his car and takes off without them.
And
where are their bags?
He's in
It's
a,
complimentary.
no bags.
See ya, kid.
He's in the 8-seat Denali alone going to the stadium. And he leaves fucking kids off.
Meanwhile, dad and son are just strolling off into the sunset.
Just walking
There's
down
no
that
urgency
tarmac.
to get to that game.
No.
No. The part that I think about is there's a boardroom meeting, okay? The Badget people are here. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just the Badget people. You know, the CEO's sitting over there, you know? And then they show this commercial. And it's probably, who made the commercial is probably the CEO's son wants to be a director. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they made the commercial.
I'll bet you they paid Elway and Badgett miles. I'll bet they get. I'll give you 100,000 Badgett miles.
Well, he's probably the spokesperson.
Yeah, I'm saying. I mean, I bet he
I
gets
agree.
paid, and I bet he gets some trade out there.
That's the only way you do it.
Sponsored.
Yeah, you're right. The kid and the dad go walking off down the tarmac into the sunset.
In some
and he's
strange
going to the
tarmac.
game. Yeah.
And so where are they going?
They have some sort of weird airport pass where they get to walk wherever they want.
Yeah.
And no one ever says anything.
That's great.
He must be Puerto Rican.
That's how it used to be. Well, I remember being a kid. You can like go when you before 9/11, man. You could
Stroll.
You could go right to the gate. Like if I was taking down to the airport, I could take him to the gate and be like, "Enjoy your trip, buddy." And
Buy
then
dinner.
you know what I mean. And then I go. Now those days are done.
Take off your shoes.
Yeah, all that stuff.
We know.
The closest I ever got to an airplane as a kid is Travel Town, that has all the old trains over here in Glendale. It also had some old planes that were just parked there too, and you could.
Well, I always
love.
love when you're flying out of a small airport. Mm-hmm. So when you're flying out of a small airport and they make you walk to the plane, in my mind, I'm always thinking I'm flying private.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I just I'm walking like, oh God, the plane's here. You know, even though it's
I
like
know.
a United
They always
Airlines.
have like a museum in those small ones where it's like, you know what I mean? Like the nicest hat in the town or something. It's just a weird foyer.
it's always like what they're known for.
exactly
in the
yeah.
town.
Like corn
All right.
huskers.
But I love those.
I got another thing to bring up to you
I
guys.
love it. Let's do it.
There's one more commercial where the young kid recognizes who it is. It's
Also
the
terrible
good
acting.
season salad dressing commercial. This is my favorite.
This is a trope. I
is it.
realize.
This
Yeah.
is real. This is real. Dawson, you gotta put them all back to back to back. We need Elway
That
to
would be
Phil
badass.
Rizzuto to this one. If you can find this one.
Yeah, let's see it.
It's good season salad dressing. It's my favorite commercial from the 70s or 80s. I can't remember.
70s, 80s.
Anna Maria Alberghetti. Sue, it's been years. Still use Good Seasons Italian?
Not exactly.
He means I use new improved Good Seasons. What's so new? An improved delizioso taste. And look, just minutes after pouring...
Well, the commercial
That's not the
was
right one.
What happened to the one we picked out? Something. How's that work where we agree on the commercial and then we get another commercial?
That's an interesting question.
That's a good question.
But she did say Anna Marita Albagetti.
That's true, but she's an adult. And we have kids recognizing.
I don't even know who the hell that is. Anna Marita Albagetti.
I had to look it up. She was like a popular singer, Italian singer model or something.
What do you even Google to find commercials that have a recognition in them?
Well, whatever we do, we should replicate. Here we go.
Great, right? The robots are taking over.
Walter, you're drowning. That poor salad.
I know, but I want a lot of taste.
Then try Good Seasons. A little Good Seasons has a lot more taste.
Anna Maria Albagetti.
There's literally a 5-year-old kid who recognizes a middle-aged songstress.
But what I love about that is, like, it's as if they were just talking about her.
Yeah, that's it.
The way the kids look around and go, it's
That's all I had.
We were just rocking your album.
I didn't have video games. I didn't have a dog. Yeah. All I had was Anna Maria Albagetti.
That's what
I would go to school. I would tell my friend to tap me on the shoulder, and I would turn around and go, "It's Anna Maria Albagetti," and that's all we had. That was our entertainment. Yeah. We didn't go to Korea and kick it. No, we had Anna Maria Albagetti.
This is great.
All right, so Dawson can work on that.
They're so cheesy, those commercials. That's what I love about them.
I was watching the entertainment shows last week, and they were showing the Time 100, like most valuable or most interesting or whatever. And like some of those people are interesting enough to get on the list, you know? There's like Mark Zuckerberg, and there was Simone Biles, you know, and I don't know if Elon Musk, you know, people like that.
All of the articles were written from another celebrity.
Oh, they are?
Yes, yeah.
But then there's like Blake Lively and Meghan Markle, you know what I mean? It's like, you fucking guys aren't fat and you married smart dudes. But most, I mean, compared to whatever Simone Biles has been up to.
Right.
You know, Elon Musk, like really just not being fat. First, I'm done with Meghan Markle. Just fucking done. Like, I don't even know what the fuck she does. You married a prince. Good, you married a prince. But that makes you lucky, but doesn't make you interesting. Like, somebody won the lottery when it was $5 billion a month ago, but you don't get to get on the list next to Elon. You didn't do anything. Yeah. And Blake Lively, I've had a fucking ass full of that bitch. I'm done with her. I don't know what the fuck she does. Okay, she's an actress. Okay, so is everyone else in this fucking town. Get over your shit.
I love her. She's toxic. She's drama. I just want to hear more from her.
Oh, my God. She gave a speech. And outed her mom as a rape victim in the speech with her mom was like sitting right next to her.
No filter on that woman. I love it.
If I was sitting up there and my son was like the most interesting list guy and he was, 35 and elderly me was sitting there and he was like, my dad, he didn't have the guts to say it, but he's brave because he was pegged all the time. He took it in the ass. I'd be like, son, would you shut the fuck up?
Yeah. That's a for the family thing.
Yeah, I told you that in confidence. I was at sleepaway camp 1 year.
This is what happens, okay? People don't have the story that they think they have.
Right.
And then they start acting crazy. Now, initially when they start acting crazy, we're like, wow, I can't believe this person's acting crazy.
Right.
But when they continue to act crazy, we don't care anymore.
Right.
That's example. Meghan Markle's an example of that. Like it was like, okay, so she's this black girl who's in the royal family, and she feels like nobody likes her, and all the drama. So we were like, okay, and then they left the royal family. You're like, okay, and now we're just kind of like, I don't care about your shows and your thing and whatever you're doing anymore because you keep going and going and going. It's the same thing with like Kanye West. Like, it's like
I also love watching the meltdown.
I know, but after the initial meltdown. You're like, wow, I can't believe that person I thought that was a musical whatever is acting like this.
By the way,
then when he continues to do it, after a while, you're just like, oh, is he doing another thing? You're like, I'm out. Get me out of here.
No. It's like,
right?
Yeah, it's basically where I'm at with Andy Dick. I've seen enough. I get it.
Dude, good example. Yeah. But after a while, you go, but it's even crazier when a person is outside of what you know them to be. That's the part. They get a big push in that part right after. But when they continue on this new trend, after a while, we're just kind of like, let's move on. We're done with
this. We're all part of the attention economy, and Kanye is exploiting the fact that it's attention driven.
I know, but it's not working anymore.
On his album. It is though.
No, it's not.
The kids are talking all about Kanye.
No, it's not.
Maybe it's not.
It's not working anymore.
But those he's still doing something. Everyone's mad at him. Half the people love him. It's a weird. Same thing with Blake Lively. There's a lot of people on the other side of what you feel that are super. They're like, yeah, pro Blake. It's
all right. But here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. If you have a body of work, then you can go be crazy, and maybe we can argue about it.
Yeah,
and you could argue that Kanye has a body of work, but Blake Lively doesn't have a body of work other than being an actress who was employed, which she can join the ranks of half of Hollywood with that.
Right.
Well, Aura's digital picture frame is the perfect gift. It's really cool. I mean, it takes it. I mean, technology. What can I say? Aura Frames was named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter and featured in 495 gift guides just last year. With the digital picture frame, you can share photos or videos from any device, and they'll instantly appear on the frame wherever it is in the world. Imagine that. Mom's gonna go nuts for this Aura frame. Get it for her, would you? Am I right, Dawson?
Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off, plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver matte frame. That's auraframes.com. Promo code Carolla. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Wow. Did you know O'Reilly is there to help keep you on the road and keep that car running? We got some gearheads listening to this show. I know. I am a O'Reilly guy. Always have been. O'Reilly Auto Parts, they have friendly, helpful service, and people know their parts over there, and they want to maintain your car, and they want to keep it on the road because cars are getting expensive now. You got to keep them going. I always go to my O'Reilly. I did back in the day up on Foothill. The other one used to be off of Laurel Canyon, I think, when I was in North Hollywood. Always been a fan. So whether you're a car aficionado or an auto novice, you're going to find the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are knowledgeable, helpful, and best of all, they are friendly. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit us at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. All right, we have her speech outing her mom as a victim of rape.
So weird.
Do you see her mom on the screen?
Yeah, her mom's up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at her urging and her unwavering bravery, she wanted me to share with you that she is a survivor of the worst crime someone can commit against a woman. I've watched her conceal her
Hold on, by the way, you got to stop. Like,
I wanted you to know.
I'd be like, all right, I got to go to the bathroom. Look, I'm in the audience. I got to get up. I'm getting uncomfortable. I don't know why rape is better than the worst crime you can commit to a woman.
Wait, I just don't understand why in this moment would her mom tell, like, she like so what, how did that conversation go? Blake's like, I got picked for the 100, and then her mom says, you know what you should do? Talk about my rape.
By the way, can you tell him I was raped?
Hold on.
Why is that? Why is that the time to share that?
How do we know it was the mom? Like the Blake?
Well, she just said it though.
But what I'm saying is maybe she set the table. Maybe she's like, Mom, I got 100 most. Probably heard about it through my publicist. The people at times want a good rape story. I don't.
No. With
I
context.
had like some unwanted contact, but not really rape like you.
Didn't she do a movie where that was the plot point? I think that's
guess.
why she's referencing that. Yeah.
I don't know. All right, I want to hear the rest of her speech.
Let's hear it.
And I want to see her dad sweating his balls off sitting next to him. I'm going to fucking tell this story.
But at her urging and her unwavering bravery, she wanted me to share with you that she is a survivor of the worst crime someone can commit against a woman. I've watched her conceal her raw and undeserved shame my entire life. So as her daughter, being asked to share this today is monumental. If we name it, we change it. Just as our fellow
Wait,
Time
hold on a
100
second.
honoree, the incredible Giselle Pellicot.
Gotta face this right now. She's not naming it. She's going around naming it. She's going of the worst kind. I thought first she was going to say maritime disaster, but it turns out she's dancing around the word rape. So she's not naming anything. But anyway, if we can name it, then we're going to get rid of it. Here we go.
Name it, we change it. Just as our fellow Time 100 honoree, the incredible Giselle Pellicot, put it to every woman who understood, it's not for us to have shame. It's for them.
I don't know if that gets a hoot, but all right. I'll see Mom at the bar.
This is, oh my God. This is what my problem with this is.
That's why I played it for you.
Okay, what really bothers you about society right now? You do something like this, and then like here's three guys we're talking about this. So I have a problem with the time and place, but that's going to be translated into like, well, that means you support rape, right? No, that's not the time and place for that. If you're the people that run the 100 thing, and this is going on, you're like, oh, you're platforming right now. You know, like this is like Colin Kaepernick taking a knee.
Right. Is it,
you know what I mean?
Is it the time 100 most interesting or influential? Like, what is it? Because
that's weird.
There's a lot of Blake Lively, like she seems like the DJ Khaled of Americans, which is, I don't even fucking know what you do exactly, but just shut the fuck up for 10 minutes so I can, you and Sofia Vergara, like, can you just shut up for a minute so I can think? I can't think when you talk. No, I don't know what you do, but I mean, you act. So what? So's everybody.
Yeah, that's just, but it's weird because what she's going through, like she's single-handedly put a bit, like if the Me Too movement was already like, you know, on the road going, whoa, where are we going? Like, right, she basically grabbed the wheel and just flipped the car.
I agree with the sentiment, but it is a strange person to deliver the message because she is
that's the way to say that.
Wild lady, like a little bit extreme. You know, I don't know. I don't know her personally.
You know what the kids would say? That was cringe.
Yeah, I cringed so hard that my butthole turned inside out.
And then you heard like when people started to clap, it was just one person who probably was like.
But it's a very awkward sentiment. I mean, what she's saying is correct. Like we should shame dudes who do that.
Of course. But it would be like if right now we're in the middle of this podcast, but then I want to talk about that we should give money to kids in Africa right now.
Can I say this?
Can I take a moment, guys?
Fly on my cheek.
I want to say this, bitches. It's not 1961. You don't have to do this Handmaid's Tale shit all the time, and we need to be heard. Michelle Obama's like, as a black woman, I can't speak. And it's like, yes, you can. It's 2025. All you guys do is fucking talk. You have marches, you talk, you do everything. You have high jobs. Who's the mayor of Los Angeles? It's a chick. It's a black chick. She gets to talk. We're good. It's 2025, ladies. It's not 1961.
And I think what you're saying
knock
too
it
is
off a little bit.
I think it's like, hey, let's recognize the progress.
Yeah,
that's what's not done.
Harvey Weinstein is in court right now. We've caught up. We understand. It's bad. We recognize it. You're not all heroes. You would have been a hero if someone spoke out against Weinstein in 1994. Yeah. Then you would have been a hero. Now it's you know what it is? It's like all the fucking heroes that are talking about Scientology now. Yeah, big hero. Everyone's talking about Scientology. Everyone's talking shit about Scientology. Talk shit about Scientology in 1997. See where your career goes. Talk shit against Scientology and Weinstein in 97, and I'll go, that's a hero. Now you're just a bandwagoner.
Rapists live a dangerous life in prison.
Oh, I can imagine. That's why I go with cop killer. But then sometimes I would get my story confused, and I'd be like, cop rapist. I mean, shit. Killer, chick killer. God damn it. I can't get my story right.
That'd be like, what do? You don't like a rapist and you don't like cops. If you're in
that's a conundrum.
Yeah, it's a conundrum for the people. What do we do with this guy?
Buy him a beer. Here, have some Pruno.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I go further than cop killer. If I'm in jail, I go cop raper.
Raper really softens it. I think, you can get the whole LAPD with that one.
And then they go
when you make it what does that make it, a noun? An adjective?
Verb.
I don't know. I missed that. I missed that day of Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah.
I'm just a Bill.
It's just strange times. I just, again, that's so cringe is the proper word.
Just making light of it.
All right, I got another.
What
I
are
got
you
another
doing,
commercial to get into.
All right.
And whenever you get your mashup ready, oh, you are. Oh, okay. Well, put them on the screen when you're ready, and I will announce it. We got your recognition mashup, Dawson.
These guys are dope.
There we go.
Let's go.
Attention homeowners.
Dad, it's John Elway.
Anna Maria Alberghetti.
The Good Seasons lady.
Man, I don't think my kids would know anybody if I showed them a picture.
But imagine the kid. Okay, here's the next part of it is so the kid recognizes this woman and recognizes her as the Good Seasons lady.
All right. Well, what's a tougher putt? What is a tougher putt? Is it the 7-year-old who recognizes Phil Rizzuto?
Uh-huh.
Is it the guy who recognizes John Elway on the tarmac, or is it Anna Maria Alberghetti lady? What is further from the truth?
Okay, first of all, I can see the kid at home with his parents. Maybe the dad has talked about this guy before.
Phil Rizzuto.
Yeah. And I think I can see the kid maybe being like, "Oh, look, that's the guy Dad always talks about." All right, boom. So that one, that's number 3 on the list. Okay.
All right.
Number 2 it's got to be the salad dressing lady because they were so. It wasn't just the kid. It was 3 other people as if they talked about this before.
Yeah.
So that one.
Didn't she do like a B&E and she's just suddenly in their house or in their yard?
No, but I just feel like the way they did it, he turned to the family and went, "It's and everybody was like, "Oh my God!" So they're into it. The one on the tarmac is just absolutely ridiculous.
Why not the dad recognize Elway?
Yeah, have the dad.
Have the dad do it.
Yeah, because especially when John Elway don't even look like himself.
That dad was pretty young too.
No, but I know. I don't even think the dad knew who that was.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
He should have said Joe Biden, and then the dad goes, "No, son, that's Hall of Fame quarterback John Elway."
I wonder if there's outtakes of the kid on the tarmac that turn Anna Maria, cut. I'll try it again.
Yeah.
Phil Rizzuto, cut. Cuts. Neither one of those.
Well, John Elway could have been Phil Rizzuto as well. He's not aging well. It looks like.
Well,
I think he looked great.
Yeah.
He went to high school out here, by the way, baseball player. All right, there's a Subaru commercials are driving me fucking nuts now because Subaru.
You've been watching a lot of TV, huh?
I study commercials because they tell you about life and about where we're at in life.
It's a slice of current society.
It's a 30-second slice of society, and it's time-stamped because it has to make sense. For instance, if you showed a modern Subaru commercial or just a cool guy commercial in the 60s, and they showed like a black guy and a white guy, and there was a gay couple, and they're driving a Subaru, and they're adopting a sheep, these guys would be smoking.
Yeah, they'd be outraged.
They'd be like madmen going, what are these roommates? Why are these roommates mixed? Why do they have a mix? Why you have a colored guy and live with a white guy? That's his husband. Husband? The fuck out. Who cast this shit? What are you, nuts?
It would never make the air.
Nothing. None of it. And how about all the mixed couples? You got the Asian woman and the black guy, and their mixed kid comes running in.
Lucy couldn't even sleep in the same bed with Ricky.
They couldn't say the word pregnant.
Yeah. They had separate twin beds 7 feet apart from each other.
Right. Now, there's no such thing as a non-mixed couple.
Right.
So, also, they have a weird thing where it's like, the mom's this, the dad's that, and the kid's a third thing now. Like, I don't even know if it's a mixture between the two.
Don't even get me started. We just want things to make sense.
That's all.
You get to an age where you just want it to make sense.
That's all.
That's all. And also, so you don't worry about, I don't care about age, race, gender, sexual orientation, or physical handicap. Just do your job. That's it.
All right. Well, you're going to be upset when you see this commercial. Because Subaru. Now, by the way, Subaru is done with telling you the mileage or telling you the warranty or telling you rust proofing or drivetrain. That's all gone. All numbers are gone. Nobody cares.
Just vibes.
Nobody cares about rust proofing warranties or anything. It's
I don't know if anyone ever cared about that, but
well, they used to run commercials and they'd go, "We have the best warranty in the business. We got 5,000 miles on drivetrain, and we got 50,000 rust proofing on the." All right, here's the Subaru commercial. You tell me what you see. It's a dog jumping in the car, backing the car out. Dad is out there, angry.
The all-electric, all-quiet Subaru Solterra. Dog tested, dog approved.
Okay, now they're making cars for dogs at this point. Like,
yeah, man.
Well, their buyers are such fucking pussies now that they're literally just going, "I'm buying a."
In defense of this commercial, I get the sentiment of this commercial, but then like knowing you, it's like the thing you already said. You were like, "Tell me about this car."
I want to know about the car. Well,
you know, as an electric car owner,
yes, I own one too.
I want to know more about this too.
I want the range, bitch. Give me the range.
Preach. I don't care about none of this shit. You show me it better be over 300 miles. If not, then this is nonsense.
If not, you just take a budget.
Yeah.
I just want them to go, if you put the charger in your home and you plug it in, here's the test. You plug it in your home for 5 hours, how far can you get?
Yes.
If it was empty.
Yes.
Or you plug it into 110 wall socket shit.
How long would that take?
For 10 hours, how far can you get?
Yeah.
In 10 hours. That's all.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
It's more the warning. You got to show it again. It's the warning. We got dogs driving a car, and it's like, do not attempt. Animals always belted in. That's the one. I can't really read it from
it says dramatization, professional drivers on closed courses.
All right.
Do not attempt.
I just imagine the madman like, yeah, see, we'll have a dog.
Wait. This is just like that documentary about Pepsi being sued about, giving the Harrier jet. I think even Red Bull was sued because they don't give you wings.
Right.
So, this is like something else. You gotta,
All right. It says
always secure your pet.
It says professional drivers
on a closed course.
Okay. What professional? So there's a professional driver underneath working.
Maybe.
No, a dog.
It's a dog. Is the dog a pro?
Driver.
But you know what though? This is the thing that gets me too though. Obviously, like using the example of Red Bull, obviously it doesn't give you wings. So the fact that now we have people who are like, hey, that's stupid too. Like this is just a cute little commercial with some stupid dogs, about this electric car, and you're supposed to,
And a goddamn money
and so for
grab.
people to be like, well, my dog can't drive. The fact that they have to put that on the screen is what's wrong with society in the first place.
Well, that's because you don't have a Weimaraner.
Oh, man. Those are fucking dogs are annoying as shit.
Exactly.
I don't like agitated hyper dogs.
Yeah.
I don't like chihuahuas. I don't like the little skinny ones. I like the fat loafers.
Yeah.
The ones that like to just loaf around.
Dude, you know how you're always talking about comfort dogs on the plane?
Yeah.
Well, I sat in the front row of a Southwest flight in the middle with a
There was a lot wrong with what you just said.
Monster of a dog.
Really?
He was adorable. I put my feet on him the whole time.
It is funny. I did fly Jet Suite X once, and the way the seats are configured, they have these like sort of arm pads or something.
Yeah.
And at some point when we were leaving, I had my backpack on it, and we were taxiing, and sir, you got to take the backpack off, and you got to put it under there because it's not essential, whatever. And I looked over, and a woman had her dog on that same thing, and I'm like, the dog's good? Yeah, dog's good because she flies with the dog. And I'm like, okay. Do we have rules, or what are the rules for?
Man,
what's more dangerous, the backpack or the dog?
Sometimes, I gotta just let shit go. This just happened to me yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you walk up to check into a flight, right? Mm-hmm. So now, you're either going to scan your boarding pass, or I know my United number by heart.
Oh, really?
I put the number in, the bag tags come out, I have my license ready to show, because they want to say, so the guy says to me, he says, "What? I need to see your ticket." And I go, "What?" Is this new? He's like, "No, you always have to and I should have just let it go. But that moment right there, I'm like, no, you don't always have to do this. How do you think I got these bag tags out?
Yeah.
My name's on the bag tags. There's my license. You don't need to see my ticket. Like, what are we talking about right now?
I don't like the inconsistency.
Yes,
like
the inconsistency.
You come pulling up to the window and you pull your ticket out and they go, "Sir, I don't need that. I need your license." And then the next airport you go to, you pull the license out and they go, "We need the ticket. We need the boarding pass." There, it's like, oh, just decide. Just decide.
Well, I'll tell you something that's good. Like I have Clear. I'm sure you have Clear.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to go away. Like I don't know how Clear is staying in business because TSA themselves have now moved towards this like scanning thing. You know, so sometimes on your ticket you have like a little thing and it'll say, "Oh, then you can just go to this line." So sometimes I go to the Clear. I was going to Clear and I was like, "This is taking too long."
Yeah, the Clear line's getting real long.
Yeah, I said to him, I said, this is taking too long. I'm at LAX, and they're getting an attitude with me. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I said, "You know what? This is what you guys stay here." I went in the TSA line, and as I am now about to go put my thing in, I wave over at the Clear people like, "Hey, everybody, look," because it's like, how are you gonna stay in business? I say to them every single time, I go, "Are you gonna change this? Because this is not helpful now." Right. So now when you go through Clear, now they have the thing now. They're scanning your face.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get to go up to the front where they scan your face again.
Yeah.
So my thing is like, why the fuck am I scanning my face twice? How about we skip this Clear shit and you just scan my face up here and we go through?
Everyone's going to end up
what's happening right now?
Everyone's going to get nasal cancer in like 14 years. Yeah. And wonder, what the hell? All the frequent flyers have nasal cancer.
I don't know. First of all, I don't know why they don't just have a big ass, like Total Recall hallway.
Oh, I know.
That you just walk through with your fucking bags.
Yeah.
And you just walk through. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You just walk through, and if somebody's got some shit, they go, "Excuse me, sir, can you, But like this whole process we have to go through at the airport, this dog and pony show, by the way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, how many terrorists do they actually catch with taking your shoes
I
off?
just want to see your skeleton break through the mirror. You know what I mean?
It's like, I hate when technology doesn't catch up to what's going on in society. Like or society doesn't catch up with technology. Is what I mean.
There's always a lag. Yeah,
but the lag is ridiculous. Like my friend's motorcycle got stolen, and he had the air tag on it, right? The people had it in the apartment, and then the cops were like, "Well, we can't go in." What the fuck are you talking about? There's the map. Change the law.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But change the law. Or how about even statute of limitations on certain crimes, right? We now have videos. We now have there should be no statute of limitations if it's like that P. Diddy and Cassie shit. It shouldn't be no statute of limitations. Yeah, there's him beating the fuck out of her. Arrest this motherfucker for that. Let's move on. How does it not we now have the evidence?
I'll get to it.
See, in the old days it would be like, somebody accused you of something. It was just like your word against mine. How long are we gonna do that for? They said, you know what? We're gonna hear this for 10 years. And then if you don't have any proof, we're gonna move on. Times have changed.
Yes. Agreed. We got dogs driving Subarus.
Right. We got dogs driving, kids recognizing Elway.
bragging about rape.
It's like let's advance with the times. That's all I'm saying.
Anna Maria
Albrighetti. All right, I got one more clip to play because it was this woman in the back of an Uber who was just bitching out the Uber driver, and I just thought, first off, I'm always kind of jealous of people that just say stuff out loud because I'm always like, okay, don't say anything.
Oh, you for sure clicked the thing on the Uber, do not talk to me.
I didn't even know how to do Uber. I have to travel with people who know Uber.
Oh, got you.
And then I fuck up their rating because I'm like, hey, could you move it along a little? We're crawling here. And then they're, shut up, you're going to fuck my rating up. And I'm like, well, we're crawling here. Anyway, this woman gets in the back seat and just tortures this Uber guy. And I don't even know what the fuck she wanted, but here we go. So.
Are you Ben? Yes, I am. Do me a favor, can you move the seat forward because it's hitting my knees at this point. Yeah, no problem.
I'm with her on that.
Can you hold on? I didn't even put my seatbelt on, sir. You slow down. You in a rush? Because if you're in a rush, I'm gonna panic. It's too hot in here. Can I lower this window or something? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, your seatbelt is really tight around my neck. Has anybody else complained about this? No, ma'am, no. Yes. Well, then take it off. No, I'm not going to take it off. I'm going to an important meeting right now. I can't have my hair on. You're having an important meeting at 7 p.m.? Is that your concern? What the fuck I do? I'm trying to explain to you. I'm not getting any ventilation right now.
This is fake.
It's fake?
And I don't appreciate
You're saying it's cut.
your smart remark about me having a meeting
This is
at
fake.
7 o'clock, which I'm going to be late.
Or
no. This is
it's cut.
You showed up late.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because this is terrible. Because this is terrible acting.
Bad acting.
This is pause it.
I want to believe though.
Pause it. No. But this is what's wrong. This is what's wrong with the internet right now. Now this is like outrage bait.
You're correct. Yeah.
It's outrage bait. This is what people do. There's no way that this is real.
Yeah.
And the guy's in on it. Like who's recording? He's recording it. Like
she's just fat enough to get us angry. If she's hot, I'd be like, yeah, this is the best video.
Yes.
She's got a point.
She is all of fat enough for this to be like, bitch.
Shut the fuck up.
You know what I mean? Like, and you know what part 2? It's the part about the seatbelt. So as soon as she was like, this is tight, well, it's like, well, let me tell you why it's tight.
I mean, this is a terrible driving test either way.
Yeah, so I don't believe.
She works at the DMV.
I don't believe none of this.
Yeah.
I don't believe these kind of videos.
Neither.
I just go, when I start to see, I realize now how many times I'm watching rage bait. Anytime, like I'll give you an example of one. There's this girl. She one of these OnlyFans girls was like saying she made $50 million, you know. And this other OnlyFans girl puts out a video through not TMZ but with the World Star or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, this is crazy. I'm only making $100,000 a week. I'm out here just struggling with You say words like that because then the comments are going to be filled with people being like, "Are you crazy? You know how much money that is?" And blah blah blah. That's what they do. It's all rage bait.
You're saying nothing is real on the internet?
No. But it's like, well, basically, like that Subaru commercial. You know what a better commercial would be now? It would be like a political commercial. The Subaru should be like, Toyota's trash, Nissan is trash, Ford is trash, and this is why. And you got to go with Subaru because people respond to negativity more than anything else. And this is that kind of thing where it's like,
cooked. It's
cooked, man.
All right, what do you guys think? Can you figure out whether it's cooked? Is there a way to do it?
No. This is just one of those things. Anytime something comes out like this,
you think it's cooked.
So this is like a perfect video too. Like this guy's like it's just perfectly set up for her to
keep playing it.
And she's not a good enough actress.
See where she goes.
You don't think she's good enough?
No, I don't believe it.
You showed up late. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm sorry. Are you giving me an attitude, sir? No, ma'am, I'm not. All I have to do is report you to Uber, and so be it. You will be kicked off this app. Okay. Let me tell you, I've gotten other people kicked off. But this freaking seat is leaning on my knee. You have to have consideration for passengers when they get in your car. And you don't question them where they're going. I want another Uber driver.
See, it's cooked.
I believe it now.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what to believe.
No.
You're right. If she was a little thinner and a little wider, I might not go for it. But now...
Yeah, she's
no man.
Because this is playing on our whole idea that someone that looks like this is not allowed to act like that.
There's a tweet underneath the video saying it was an old skit from YouTube.
Yeah, there's a lot of those going around.
Oh, really? Like a
people
reenactment?
they're finding when people did this on YouTube a long time ago, and it never really
but
hit.
it says old skit.
Well,
exactly. So they cooked it.
Yeah, there's a lot of like.
Wait. Let me just. The influencer economy is very wealthy. Okay, there's a lot of money in this. YouTube is giving it's like a professional or athletic organization. They're getting 50% of the revenue. So we're talking about billions of dollars, and YouTube is encouraging you to make content. This is content. Now, when shit used to go viral before, like, for instance, Charlie Bit Me, we believed that this was some real genuine moment that somebody caught on video, and we adore it. We're like, oh, my God, Charlie Bit Me. This is great stuff. Now people see that, there's money in stuff like this. There's money in outrage. There's money in negativity. Like, this is going viral. Like, we're not on here talking about if she would have got in there and been, like, super positive, there's nothing. Nobody wants to see that. They want to see this fat monster fucking talking shit to an Uber guy where we're all sitting at home being like, shut up. You can't fit in that seat. That's how it drives people, like, you know what I mean?
Well, I wasn't thinking that hateful vitriol, but okay.
Yes, you were.
People, word from the booth is it feels fake, but they cannot verify.
Yeah.
All right.
It's 1,000%.
I'm glad it is. You got news, right?
I do. I got some news.
Yes. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back.
News.
Eric will hang out. We'll do the news right after this. Simply Safe. You want to feel safe at home. That's part of the American dream, and Simply Safe can help you realize that. Traditional home security systems, well, they only take action after someone has already broken in. So the guy's in your house already. What are we going to do? It's too late by then. Simply Safe is setting the new standard in home security. Simply Safe's Active Guard outdoor protection can help prevent break-ins before they happen. With AI-powered cameras backed by live professional monitoring agents, they monitor your property and detect suspicious activity before these guys break in. Monitoring plans start very affordably at just around $1 a day. I love these guys. We've used them here. They've been sponsors for well over a decade. It's a great company. It's Simply Safe. Right, Dawson?
You can get 50% off your new Simply Safe system with professional monitoring and your first month free at simplysafe.com/Adam. Just head to simplysafe.com/Adam to claim your discount and make sure your home is safe this year. Keep your home, your family, and your peace of mind protected with Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
See what's screening free all month long during Pluto TV's April Ghouls. Get your heart pounding with nightmare-fueling classics like Insidious and Bram Stoker's Dracula. Or test your nerves with haunting hits like Urban Legend and Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. Pluto TV has hundreds of channels and thousands of terrifying movies, live and on demand. Download Pluto TV on all your favorite devices and start streaming now.
Adam Carolla Comes Clean, now available from Angel Studios.
And when I was young, I would stay home from school. I lived in the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles. And, mid-70s, tell my mom I was sick, stay home from the 4th grade. And I would just sit and watch TV all day. And first things first, the joke was on me because our TV set was a 13-inch black and white Zenith. Our TV was deeper than it was wide. My son's got a 65-inch TV that's a 1/4 inch thick. Do you know what that ratio is compared to my childhood? I had 13 across, 44 deep. It was like staring into a poster tube.
Watch Adam Carolla Comes Clean free on Angel at angel.com/Adam free. And join the Angel Guild and save 50% on your first 3 months at angel.com/Adam Carolla. Adam Carolla Comes Clean, now available through Angel Studios. Let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Yeah, I mean,
that's great.
It's a ratio thing, thickness to width.
Do you remember when you first saw a color television? Because I remember the day my mom surprised me with a color television, and I was able to watch the Dukes of Hazzard in color and see the orange General Lee. You know, I remember that. I was like, "Oh my God, color!"
She brought it home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had...
But it was still little.
Yeah, my grandparents had a color TV set.
Ooh.
But we didn't. So if there was a TV event like the Oscars or Super Bowl or something, we'd go to my grandparents' house and sit and watch their color TV. That was a big deal.
Amazing. That's great. That's funny stuff, man.
Color. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Clean. Dry bar, everyone. That, by the way, we cut that one short. I keep going with that shit.
Yeah, that's great.
All right. What do you got, Mayhem?
All right. Bill Maher has reacted to Larry David's insulting my dinner with Adolf essay.
Oh,
It's an
yeah.
argument
Doesn't
you
like it.
lost just to start it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this wasn't, my favorite moment of our friendship, but, look, I don't want to get in too much into that, but I think the minute you play the Hitler card,
That's what I think.
You've lost the argument.
Yes.
And also, I must say, come on, man. Hitler, Nazis, nobody has been harder about and more prescient, I must say, about Donald Trump than me. I don't need to be lectured on who Donald Trump is. Just the fact that I met him in person didn't change that. And the fact that I reported honestly is not a sin either. But, to use the Hitler thing, first of all, I just think it's kind of insulting to 6 million dead Jews, who, like, that should kind of be in its own place in history. And, I know people can say, well, we're just comparing it in this way. Well, it's an argument you kind of lost just to start it. It's just, look, maybe it's not completely logically fair, but Hitler has really kind of got to stay in his own place. He is the goat of evil, and we're just going to have to, I think, leave it like that. So, did I think that was appropriate? No, but people have the right to This
But you know he was going to do it.
Of course not. And
Are we going to
people
watch the whole episode, or we have?
You know, my publicist said this is going on today, and you should know it. And I was like, oh, okay.
We can probably edit this a little shorter. Once he starts going, I don't know.
He did travel around a bit on that point, didn't he?
I saw the episode that when he talked about like his dinner, and I thought it was fascinating.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought it was a fascinating look from, because I watch that show all the time, so I know how he feels about Trump, and for him to go sit there and experience that, it said a lot about just even Trump himself about how he's being a certain way for like I said, the negative baiting and stuff like that, whatever. I totally agree with Bill Maher about that. I'm so sick of people talking about Hitler, man.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Larry David's a fucking douche, but also this is below him. It's beneath him.
Yeah.
Like you're a creative guy, you're a funny guy, you're maybe even a creative genius. Come up with something a little more interesting than the totally fucked out Hitler label that everyone is using. Be more interesting. You know what I mean?
Play golf with
How
Pol
about that
Pot.
guy? How about that guy? The Mangini guy who he killed
Luigi Mangione.
But the guy he killed, that guy is probably closer to Hitler than Trump. With all the people that died that didn't get the health care that they needed, because what I'm saying is there's other examples in society other than just look, we don't like this guy and he's a world leader and that guy was a world leader, but when you just talk about the things that have happened to people because of someone's choices, what are we talking about?
What's up with that?
I hate when they do that, man. I agree with him completely. It's whatever. I mean, and this just goes into a whole thing about why we can't, the two sides can't sit and talk and have conversations. You know what I mean?
Larry David walks like Ichabod Crane. When he walks, it looks like he's leaning backwards. If you ever seen him walk, it's like his feet are 4 feet in front of him and he's leaning backwards. I'm saying, look, Larry David, you like Bill Maher. Bill Maher's a friend, and you agree with Bill Maher, so shut the fuck up. And the Hitler thing it's just so tired and old. You come up with a better angle and use it.
Man, the virtue signaling is so heavy.
All right, so
A new argument is being presented in the Diddy case. Diddy lacked the mental capacity to commit the crimes, his lawyers are saying. His defense involves a mental capacity to commit crimes, essentially when he was wasted. So he's trying to get out of culpability for his crimes.
I didn't understand it until you just said that part.
The wasted part.
Prosecutors filed their opposition to this line of testimony. The docs say that Diddy wants to have a doctor who's a Columbia professor testify that he had a mental condition bearing on the issue of guilt.
Has anyone ever seen anyone in a full blackout and not pass out?
If
blackout.
this passes, I'm going to get all of my record expunged completely.
I've seen
if this
dudes
goes through, I'm going to argue that, it's I didn't do anything wrong.
I had a friend named Rudy. He was just a dude, friendly, not violent, not impulsive, not a drug addict, just a dude from the valley. Just pretty good student, so on and so forth. Went to Tijuana with Rudy.
Oh my! Went blackout with Rudy.
Came back from Tijuana and slept in the dorms in San Diego because we had some friends who were going to San Diego State. And we crashed out. Next morning, got up. Our friend Michelle, she was like, where's Rudy? I'm like, well, I don't know what happened to Rudy. She's like, you don't even fucking want to know. He got up in the middle of the night. He said he's getting back in his car. He's going back to Tijuana. He says, we got to save. We left good men behind. We got to go get him. She said, I couldn't fucking do anything with him. He wouldn't listen to me. I kept telling him we're in San Diego. There's nobody in Tijuana. It's 4 a.m. Go to bed. He went out in the street and started screaming at everybody. Hey, by the way, she was super pissed at us because she called us at 3 a.m. and goes, your friend's out of control. He tore up the dorm room, tore up the hallway, ran up and down the hall, we got to get our boys out of Tijuana, who's coming with me? He said, took the car keys. She called us to go, but we picked up the phone, all right. I just slammed the phone down and passed out. He took the keys. She was wrestling him for the keys. And he ended up sleeping under his car in San Diego. And the next day, normal dude. That same dude went to USC, drank too much, got literally destroyed the dorm room, woke up chained to a bed in County USC, chained to a bed. Normal dude, blackout.
I've had to call police.
Gone.
I had to call the police because of my friend being drunk like that.
Blackout drunk.
Yeah. Where he was saying crazy stuff, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then the fire department, they had to come. The paramedic fire department people come and they give him a sedative thing, and immediately they're like,
"Oh really?
Yeah. Whoa, what's going on?" You know what I mean? But you have to go. Okay, but the thing is like that sounds ridiculous. Look,
you know what the funniest part is after when we left Tijuana, there was like 5 of us, and we're like, whoever's the least fucked up here is the one that's going to drive us from Tijuana to San Diego. And we're like, Rudy, you're definitely in the best shape out of all of us right now, so you drive. He fucking drove us to San Diego and then went insane. Yeah.
No one here believes. If you make the choice, the choice you made before you got drunk and whatever happens to that after that is your responsibility. Period.
Oh yeah.
So there's there's a disease where you like turn into the wolf man. You know what I mean? Like you turn into something.
But that okay. So then therefore, let's say that's it. You turn into a wolf, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know you turn into a wolf?
Yeah,
if you know you turn into a wolf, then you shouldn't be at a grammar school dance, because you turn into a wolf.
Guys, if this is an intervention, I got it together now.
I think there's a Michael J. Fox parable here.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is if you know that this happens to you, then the second time you do it, that's a choice.
Listen, as somebody who does turn into a wolf, I have a responsibility to the public to keep myself in check.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like the first time it happens, you go, whoa, you know what? I don't know what happens to me when I drink and I'm at a party. But the second time, that's on you.
He's going to get some neurologists to say he has some chemical in his brain which sets him off into some direction. And
I read that differently. I read that differently. I read that as like what he's saying is, how can I be so diabolical when I'm drunk at a party?
I don't know.
I think it's that.
To the docs, the prosecutors say legal precedent requires the defense to give proper notice and any evidence of the effects of drugs and alcohol on a defendant's memory or cognitive function. So they're pushing back against this whole line of defense.
Yeah, that's not going to fly. I really think it's that.
How could I get a boner defense?
Or no, I think what they're saying is that, that he was so blasted on all kinds of substances, he didn't realize what he was doing.
That's what they're saying.
And I'm okay with that if this was a one-time party. If there was a one-time Diddy freak-off, and it's this most famous freak-off ever, and everybody's talking about it still, this one freak-off. No, it was 100 freak-offs. Mm-hmm. So if you know that you don't know what's going on the next day, that's on you the next time.
Yeah, the indictment accused Diddy of drugging his victims for compliance, so during these freak-offs. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And now they're question of whether Diddy himself was in a haze during his alleged crimes.
I don't think this is going to go anywhere.
I don't think
I actually don't even think they have enough to...
crazy president because, look, I'm telling you, guys, everybody who gets busted is not in their right mind. Like,
that's true.
That's the whole
trying.
point.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're responsible for what happens when you are in a state.
Yeah, if Hitler was beaked up on all sorts of stuff.
I love Jews. He would have said that,
It's just when I do speed.
Hitler was like, I love Jews, but did coke. I took some.
Makes you anti-Semitic. It's science.
You know what I mean? It's like it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
In other news,
all right, hold on a second. Mark Garagos' attorney was sitting right where you're sitting. Mm-hmm. When I heard the whole Weinstein thing, I said, call Elway, gas up the jet, and get out of fucking town. Pack up some cash.
Download the app.
By the way, Weinstein could have packed up a pillowcase of $10 million, right?
Yeah.
He's got a fucking jet. Go somewhere, doesn't have extradition.
Treaty
with us, and just fucking...
live on the top of a mountain in Peru.
Just leave.
Yeah.
Just do what Roman Polanski did.
Nah, but
just
I'm glad
fucking
that guy
leave.
got busted.
I know, but I told that to Garagos, and I said the same thing with P. Diddy. I was like, you got fucking money, you got a jet, Elway, get the fuck out of here.
No, but guys, this is what was so strange about the whole thing anyway. So when all this first broke, right, and they were like, P. Diddy's on the run. That's what TMZ tried to like make you think.
Yeah.
And then the next day we find out they interviewed him.
He was there,
on the jetway in front of his jet. Like, hey, what's going on? And that's when they arrested his guy. You know what I mean? But it's like, no, he wasn't trying to escape or anything like that. So I'm with you though. You got that kind of money, which they do. They obviously didn't stop him from, they went in and searched all his places, but they didn't put a stop on his funds or anything. They had nothing, obviously.
Also, what you did.
Yeah.
If somebody came up to me and said, we're going to accuse you of rape and this and battery and stuff like that, I'd go, knock yourself out.
Right.
But what you're not counting on is that these guys have always thought of themselves as untouchable. And
I get it. But
and there's
some psychology of that too.
I get it.
In their mind, honestly, they don't think what they did is wrong.
There's a lot of that going on.
I get it. Harvey's like, of course.
No, but that's why you have.
Diddy's like, of course, everybody wants to party and bang.
I know, but you have like, you would think you have people around you like, you had a legal team. I know, but the legal team, like, listen, the lawyer. It was one of those things where
say, don't fuck that chick. I don't think
no. You're not listening. You're not letting me finish.
Yo, sorry.
The lawyer, when all these things come out, especially because that was calculated to release that Cassie footage.
Of course.
Because that's how you bias the grand jury. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So no matter what he's up for, they go, well, everybody saw that kind of person he is. So if without that tape, I don't even know if he would have been, but he would have been out on bail without that tape. I feel he'd be out on bail right now.
Public sentiment.
Yeah.
Or
the public sentiment. So what I'm saying is, a lawyer had to have been like talking to him, like hey.
Or if Cassie looked like the chick in the back of the Uber, people are like, okay. She could have been eyeballing him. That bitch. What's she complaining about now?
How dare she? No, but it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think that defense sounds crazy. But even with the Harvey Weinstein, it's like, this stuff is coming out. You're like, what? He had no balls?
Plus, half that stuff is.
Say what?
It is.
Is all this real?
First off, it's humiliating and painful. I mean, so the worst things, spending the rest of your life in prison sounds bad, but the only way it could be worse if we'd be like, well, Erik had a micro penis. And he used to, what he'd do is he'd cry and rub lotion on it. And that was the only way he could get anything going because he had a micro penis.
None of this is true, though.
And
I have to be
his balls were like, I don't know, they call it welded to his taint. Yeah. But he had a thing and his ball sack was glued to his taint and they had a micro penis. And so that's why he cried, when he masturbated.
You just painted a picture for everyone. Now everyone's listening. Like now it's going to be like
his stuff.
Christian's micro penis, says Carolla.
Stuff was so weird.
Yes, it's weird. But I think of it like this: like if you're a thief, and you're a known thief, you get caught as a thief. Now, other people could say it could be true or not. Hey, he stole from me too. You're
saying the bandwagon.
You still put yourself in that situation because you did do some things. So like that's the sucky part. Yeah. You know what I mean? You did some stuff. No. Did you do all of this stuff? Maybe not.
They always overcharge. Too late. They always overcharge. They just try it and see what sticks.
I just feel like though in the P. Diddy case, I am not going to be shocked if he walks right out of court.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm not going to be shocked.
Is there some Epstein angle here where there are people that he has goods on that are powerful?
Well, it's possible. No, because he's still alive.
Ah, interesting. All right, we got another story there?
I do. I have a couple. I have one where, the LAPD released a video of the Weezer bassist's wife holding the gun before she was shot.
I was trying to figure that one out.
Oh, yeah, this was crazy.
She walks out with a gun.
Isn't this crazy?
She's probably in a Xanax haze, not understanding what's going on, thinking that there's somebody.
She just had a freak off.
She didn't seem coherent in this. She's just kind of wandering around the backyard, and the cops, you can hear on the video, are telling her, put the gun down, and she racked the slide, they said. She racked it, and they shot her. Yeah.
I couldn't figure out what she was doing with the gun other than they were yelling, put the gun down.
Yeah, well, what happened is she, was back there spooked, and I don't know if they show it, but she racks the gun. You could see it in shadow there. She racks a round in the chamber, And, at that point, the gun's ready to fire. So the cops took preventative measures and emptied 3 clips at her, only hitting her once in the shoulder.
That's always the most disturbing part. I heard like 13 shots and 1 grazed her.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are they shooting at? You know what I mean? Like,
well, if you put a lot of round down range, you could tell when you're in a weird situation like hanging over a fence, the gun will jump everywhere.
You also like maybe there's some psychology here too. Do you really want to be the one that kills this lady?
No, yeah, maybe not.
It's like
you have to shoot.
If the 3 of us are shooting,
but they
maybe I'm like I don't want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't want to kill her.
That,
you know.
But so one like yelled like she held the gun up. By the way, policy shouldn't be you just start shooting because the guy next to you started shooting, which the cops always seem to do.
But it's natural though.
I know it's natural.
It's a high tense situation,
No, I get it. I'm saying, was she really pointing at it, or
no? She
was just
racked it, and it was kind of just hanging out. Yeah, but I mean, think about how quick I can point at you.
But when they were yelling at her to drop the gun, and she didn't think it was cops.
She was scared. She just was, I don't know, overwhelmed. I think.
But let me say this. Mm-hmm. I've seen 1,000 like shows, detective shows in the 70s, and always somebody would be crossing the street at night. Then the car would come sliding around the corner, and the person would see the headlights, and they go, "Oh!" They like froze, and then they cut back to the guy driving the car. Cooks, get out. I'm like, yeah, and they'd be like, "It just froze." I'm like, I think if I see headlights coming at me at night, I'm standing in the fucking middle of the street. I don't just I just get out of the fucking.
It turns into that Austin Powers. It turns into Austin Powers.
No! I had a cop running at me. He fucking racked his shotgun. He jumped out of his car and he was running at me at night on a side street. Racked. He stopped the car facing the wrong way on the street. No one around but me. Middle of the night. Residential neighborhood, jumped out of the car, grabbed his shotgun, racked it, pointed at me, and started running at me. And all I did was I took my hands and I put them as wide as I could get them away from myself. That's all I did. I just stood there frozen like Jesus on the cross. I just didn't even move. And then he fucking ran right by me and went, "Get out of here!" And he was running to a house. But I'm like, all right, first off.
See, but you got reaction time. I was sitting on a cafe and gunshots started going off, and I hit the deck, and everyone else was sitting there like, confused. I was the only one on the floor.
I'm just saying, if cops yelled, "Drop the weapon," or "Drop the banana," or "Drop the hoagie," or whatever I was holding, I wouldn't be like, "What the fuck's going on?" I wouldn't start. I would just drop it.
Maybe she went to so many concerts that she can't have any hearing.
Haven't they done an autopsy on her already?
No, she's alive.
I thought she was dead.
Alive.
Got hit in the shoulder. You know what I like?
That was only it. I thought that she. Oh my god,
white lady.
Yeah, Weezer. I like her husband because Weezer didn't cancel their Coachella gig.
Say it ain't so.
No, they played 2 days later.
Aren't they divorced though?
Oh, were they?
Yeah, I don't know if they're together.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think he cares about her like that.
No, maybe he sent the cops as a hitman.
I don't know. I like her.
Well, this is the kind of thing like this is your property. You people are like,
bud, in California, that's not how it works, pal. I have
no, but I'm just saying. But that's how you think.
Do not. Nah, that's their house.
But that's how you think.
When they show up, sorry,
but
bud.
Somebody wants
so like it's like the cops in the HOA. They're the ones that really own your house.
Yeah.
She fucking so somebody was running around, some fugitive.
Well, yeah,
she got her piece.
To recap the story, it was some guys on a high-speed chase who ditched the car and ran through the neighborhood. One of them jumped. They caught a few of them. One's on the lam. But this lady, for some reason, thought she was going to go challenge the LAPD to a shootout, and she lost.
Yeah, so what did she know?
This is just some entitlement shit right here. You know what I mean?
So the cops yelled.
She's the Uber Karen? She's the final boss of Karen?
No. She's at her place, right? Doesn't she live there?
Yeah.
You're at your place. You're hearing all this ruckus, and you're just like, nah, I'm taking care of business. You're not going to have, you know what I mean?
I don't know. My feeling is I take my gun and I just sit down on my sofa and wait around. I don't know if I go out hunting.
I don't know if I hit the move out and take cover. You need something behind not just cover and not just concealment. You need something that has a concrete finish on it.
I'll use my dog for that shit. I got a big dog.
I don't know, dude. This all
right, so she gets hit in the shoulder, then she drops the gun, and I don't know what they're charging her with or...
then you know what? Maybe
attempted murder.
Well, how many shots were fired by the police?
13. Yeah.
Well, I think it could have been like a warning shot, and then one guy was like, you know what? Let me just
No. And
Lesson
it's
learned.
been studied. When cops start shooting, everybody starts shooting because that means there's a threat going on. So it's natural. Like,
I wouldn't shoot if I was a cop, but I'd be a horrible cop because I'd let everyone go all the time. But if I saw someone spit gum out on the sidewalk, I'd go fucking pistol whip him and drag him into the scout, put him in the hole.
Here we go, everybody.
I'd fucking go full bad lieutenant on him.
Well, I mean, the problem with this kind of thing is in society, it becomes a thing. It becomes like a comparison.
of course, yeah. Twitter was all a light about it that she wasn't a white lady. But there might
she
be
got
some truth
shot.
to that. She did get shot.
They shot
once.
at her 13 times. Didn't they?
I think there's something.
13 times. 13, bro. 13 times.
Yeah.
So there's how many cops were shooting?
3 or 4?
Yeah.
3?
So 3 or 4 cops are aiming down sight at this white lady with a gun, and one grazes her shoulder.
Well, look, they shot. We're talking about
They need to go to the firing range.
We were talking about that story with Dorn. Was it your guy?
Dorner.
Oh, all right. Dorner. Not that far off. Dorner. You're right.
Chris Dorner? You were talking to him?
I'm looking at you, Mayhem, because you knew all
Chris
about Dorner.
Oh, yeah.
All
Talking
right.
about. I thought you said we were talking to him.
We were talking
when did
about.
we have him on?
We were talking about
We had a
Dorner.
seance?
They shot that car 132 times. They didn't hit anybody, and there were 2 people in it.
Yeah,
they fucking miss all the time.
Well, the thing is, like, in those types of situations, the terrible thought. This is a terrible thought here, but it's better for the cops if they would have actually just killed her.
It's a little bit of a testament to the Toyota Tacoma. I think that's why.
Because then afterward, they could deal with the people be talking like they would have tested her for drugs and been like, well, she was on drugs and this is what happened. You know what I mean? So that's why it's always like I'm always shocked when you hear about
cover your ass society, bud.
I'm always shocked when anytime there's some sort of terrorist thing going on or some kind of school shooter or anything like that. When the person survives, I'm always shocked because normally they're dead.
Well, they're
normally dead, man.
Here's what I want to say to everyone. Do not think of cops as cops. Think of them as dudes with guns and then act accordingly. Mm-hmm. So, if a dude with a gun went, stay in your car, and you went, fuck that, you would, if it was a dude with a gun, you would stay in your car. They're dudes with guns. Think of it that way, and you can avoid getting shot.
Here, I'm going to tell you, let's go further than that. This is the problem, all right? For all our lives on television, doctors care about their patients, and cops are superheroes. Every television show, it's always episodics. It's cop, doctor, and so we think that doctors are all like House and the Good Doctor, and every doctor you go to is so concerned about making sure they're going to solve your problem. That's not real life.
You're saying that Dick Wolf is lying to me?
Yes.
You piece of shit. And then so that's what so I think it's the same. I think that's part of it too.
We're victims of propaganda.
Yes.
Oh, propaganda, and you thought detectives busted the case. But every true crime story goes, first off, the guy's fat. He's sitting at his desk, and they go, it'd been 8 years. It was a cold case. We couldn't solve it. And then the phone rang, and it was a woman who knew. That in the cop shows, they solve the crime. They don't sit around waiting for the phone to ring so somebody else can do it.
So I think that's the main issue. Our main issue is that we have this grandiose idea. We have this we romanticize what cops are supposed to be, what doctors are supposed to be, what public servants are supposed to be.
Yeah,
it's a lot more nuanced.
It's more nuanced than that. So this lady was in her feelings. She's also obviously privileged, and you know what I mean. She's like, no, they're not gonna. They say when somebody says, "I know my rights."
Yeah, bro.
You're talking to a person with a gun.
But
you know your rights.
But hold on,
they totally destroyed her sweater.
Is she? But it's unclear to me if she was arguing with the cops. Did she know what was going on? What I'm saying is why would you be waving a gun around if the cops yelling?
I heard she didn't really argue with them. It wasn't. And a lot of verbiage coming from her. It was them clearly stating to put the gun down. Oh, she racked it, and then they opened fire.
Oh, she racked it.
That was the
She
whole
racked
thing.
it after they said put the gun down.
Yeah, they said it's the police.
But
First,
is she
it was
walking
pretty
towards
banal.
the police?
They said,
But is
"It's
she
the
walking towards the police
I
right
believe
there?
So, yeah.
Because that's a long-ass walk.
Well, I think she was walking closer to see and hear them. Like I said, it seemed like
we
somebody
might have
kinda
footage.
hazy.
We might have
do,
footage.
yeah. I'm sure. I saw it on.
What if she was deaf?
Put the gun down!
Yeah,
Hey,
see.
what is she? I can't see from. What is she doing right now?
Oh, okay.
Hey, not an announcement. She just lifted it up. What she wants to? Get down! Shut.
Get down.
Wait, what?
All right, but she never fired a shot.
No.
See, I wonder if she thought the cops were the guy who escaped yelling, "Put the gun down." I don't know.
So they didn't. So we're missing part of this video where they go, "They're the police," and
We're
they're supposed to
missing
be
her
like,
story, and you know what I mean.
"Yeah, this is
it's
crazy."
hard
But
from the hospital.
I gotta say, this looks crazy.
She's gonna sue somebody. That's
But that video is terrible.
No, I'll tell you. Well, they already charged her, so I think there'll be a trade. Like, okay, we're not going to charge you with attempted murder, but just, you know what I mean, do some community service and don't sue us. Sign this waiver.
What is she saying though? Like she's way across in her yard. She hears something. She gets her gun ready, like she's ready for business, and she walks a very far distance.
Yeah.
In that video, when she walked from after clocking the gun and going from there all the way to where she went off camera, are they yelling at her at that point? Like when did they start yelling at her? You know what I mean? Like, this is a very weird.
We need it synced up. There's another angle of this too that we haven't played.
That's weird.
Well, what I need, this is going to be one of those computer-generated graphic things where she leaves with the timestamp.
Back
and the first
into the
fire.
left. Court TV. Back into the left.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy having Harvey Levin narrate and figure this out.
We need something because this is strange.
This is weird.
Because that video of the cops, that was strange.
It's not weird at all. What are you guys talking about? No. If you point the gun at the cops, they'll get you.
No, dude. No. We're talking.
Even have the gun.
No.
Ready,
I get what you're saying, but the time. This looks strange. So we see a video of this woman across her yard. Mm-hmm. She does this thing with the gun. So is there a reason she's doing that? Okay. At that point, are the cops yelling at her?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're that very moment.
I'm saying,
I don't know.
Who has a cop yelling at you, drop the gun, who just keeps waving around and walking around? That sounds
Somebody
weird.
on drugs.
So there's no like police, the red lights and stuff going on. Like they're saying, and then even in that moment right there, okay, this is what I'm saying. Wait, look. Even if you put those two videos together, okay? One guy's like, put the gun down. And the other guy's like, what's she doing? When was that? Because what she doing was that when she was just walking with the gun in her hand?
No, but what you're watching is there's cops on one side. They slice the pie. They circle around you in like a semicircle, so that way they all have angles on you.
Also, it's weird taking cover behind 1x6 dried out.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing. I know.
Dog-eared wood fencing.
Right through that. Yeah.
I just feel like the timing of that looked weird.
Everything is weird about it, and that's why I'm going to wait.
She just stumbles out of the house and doesn't know what's going on, thinks there's people breaking in back there. You see a bunch of heads floating above your, fence, and you decide to protect yourself, and then they spray you.
Oh, no. You didn't see the video.
I did. Yeah.
No. She was standing there. She did this with her gun and then went on a long walk from that point to all the way to where she was.
So
the way you just described
they gave her
it,
some latitude.
Didn't sound like it.
Well, he said they racked it and then they started shooting. So I assumed she had just racked it. So
all right, listen. I don't know.
I'm just saying in the video, that's not what happened.
Here's the whole point.
Lee Harvey Oswald was on the grassy knoll.
All right. If they would have shot her when she did this, I'd be with you. That's not what happened. That's what I'm saying. Right. Watch the video. She went like this, and then she went on a long walk.
Listen, there's a whole bunch of shit we're going to find out, and we're not going to be able to settle
we're
it
excited
until we
about
do.
it. We're following this.
I want to know if she got from the backyard to the middle of the street.
Oh, no, yeah, they dragged her, I'm sure.
It's just, there's a lot of facts.
I know, you're right.
They dragged her from her backyard to the middle of the street.
That's what the cops do.
What I'm saying is if they would have shot her on this.
I'm just wondering if the bullet destroyed her sweater.
Well, we already did that joke.
No, he did the other one.
No, he did the sweater joke, too.
I missed it.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
All right.
You're crack staff, man. We got
crack staff.
I've got one last one.
All right,
before we
one
go.
last
Look,
one.
I don't know how you get out of arguing with your girl, but a man in China has been watching way too much cartoons.
I saw this.
Yeah, he took the short exit out of an argument.
What did he do?
He tries it, and he goes, I'm out of here, Wile E. Coyote style.
Jumped out a window? What floor were they on?
Bro, 13th.
13th?
Yeah, man, he fell to his death. Just kidding.
Oh. Jesus Christ.
Listen, I can totally identify with this guy. Yeah, you know who you are, my ex.
Yeah. He defenestrated
You know what just
himself.
tells me? You know what just tells me? This guy's guilty of whatever they're fighting about.
You know what?
You know what
He
I
just found his Instagram.
Yeah. Whatever he's guilty of, he did it, and this is how he got out of it. You know what I mean? You know what? I'm out of here.
Hey, the best part is that in China, nobody cared. She didn't file a report. He didn't file a report. Nothing happened.
He was
they replaced the
barefoot,
window.
too, right?
Yes.
Maybe she just caught him.
Man, was that David Carradine?
Yeah,
I wonder what he said. You know what? This
There's
could be
no
fake.
audio in this. Yeah, but yeah. I don't think it's fake at all. It's not. It was reported in the news.
I'm saying I haven't
so.
seen any cuts on him.
No, what do you mean? It's the grainy ass footage. That's the Zapruder film right
The man
there.
came back later and paid for the damage. So it said.
Like a good man should.
You know what? Listen, only a woman can get you this crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So he was probably
You
one of
jump
those
out a
conversations
window?
where he was like, okay. So, I'm crazy, huh? Oh, you think I'm crazy? Let me show you who crazy is. I'm going to be crazy right now. And he's, look at me. She's like, stop it. Stop being
Maybe
crazy.
it wasn't an
no,
argument.
I'm crazy. You know?
Maybe he was like, I want some good loving tonight. And she's like, I'm on my period. And he's like, okay. And he just went out the window. I've had that happen. I've done that. Haven't you done that?
No.
Oh.
And you would never do that.
But listen,
You'd
you guys
be-
are, that
you'd
was
be-
a
you'd be
nag.
arguing with her
That
right
was
there.
a nag. That was a that built up over
Yeah,
weeks.
that's what I'm
This
saying.
guy, he's making iPhones all day, and she just coming home, taka, right in my face, jump out the window.
And she probably said, you're not. Maybe she was like, I just wish you would be passionate about something one time. Just be passionate about something one time. He was like, oh, you want passion? You want me to be passionate? I'm going to jump out this window. And she was like, stop, don't jump out the window. I'm jumping out the window. And then he did it.
I want double pain.
And then you cut to the other side, and it's like, what did he really do?
I think it's good.
Maybe one story, this would be better.
You know what I
You know what I
think
mean?
though? I think it's money in the bank for him.
Yeah.
I do because next time they start arguing,
He just goes like this.
He starts looking at the window and he's like, "Is that dual glaze?" And she's like, "Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I raised my voice. I'm sorry."
Sometimes you got to do crazy shit. So
Yeah,
the girl
whenever they
so
argue,
the girl
he
knows it's possible.
He just starts looking at the window.
To you.
Yeah.
All right, let me give a plug to Eric. Yeah. Eric's got dates. He's got a podcast too, Riffin' with Griffin, and the Golden Hour. It's available wherever you listen to finer podcasts. And then it's doing shows in La Jolla, Indianapolis, Lexington, Kentucky. Just go. Where do we go to find EricGriffin.com?
EricGriffin.com. I'm also doing a bunch of dates with Matt Rife because I'm about to direct another one of his specials.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So
he doing a all stand up one?
Yeah,
or is
yeah,
he
yeah.
doing crowd work one? Or is he mixing
we
it?
just did the crowd work one. Now we're doing another stand up one. So the crowd work one got great retention. So that's why they liked it. They were like, ooh.
Well, you can mix a little crowd work in with the
exactly. We'll
set
see.
material stuff.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
Look out for it, guys.
Yeah. Where are you shooting that, by the way?
You know what? I don't. It's up in the air. Because there is a spot, but I think it might change. So
all right, you said too much.
I've already said too much.
All right, Eric Griffin. Me live shows coming up Port Charles, Florida, at Visani's Italian Steakhouse and Comedy Theater. That's coming up. The early shows are about sold, but some tickets for the late shows. That's this Friday and Saturday, and then Melbourne, Florida. Doing the Melbourne Auditorium there. That'll be on Sunday at 7 o'clock. Dry Bar Special. You can watch on YouTube, and you can watch at Angel Studios as well. Until next time, Adam Carolla for Erik Griffin and Mayhem saying, mahalo.